We would like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time where the passport bros. We would like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time where the passport bros. We would like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time where the passport bro will like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time where the passport bro show. Let's go, brothers. Welcome to another fascinating, incredible Monday on this beautiful January as we near the end of the month. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hope you're all well all across the world. Welcome aboard for yet another future classic stream. First and foremost, when you come in this live stream, please hit the like button. Likes are extremely important. And of course, please hit the super chats and PayPal donations tonight. It's 2 a.m. over here in the UK. I'm up here doing the Lord's work for you, brothers. So please support me. That'd be greatly appreciated. Again, look out for the Python course announcement coming very soon. Very soon. First come, first serve. If you miss out, you miss out. So look out for that coming very soon. I'll be announcing that very soon. So take a look at that real quick. Of course, join the Patreon. We got X-rated, explicit, raw intel on how freaky Ukrainian women are in the bedroom. Only on the Patreon. Go and check it out. And of course, other European chicks too. Apart from that, book your IT consultations with me. You want to get into IT, you need IT guidance. Let me help you out here, and of course, I'll give you that guidance. And last but not least, cop your merch. Get a t-shirt, get a hoodie. Show international passport support for almost a decade, almost 10 years doing this, brothers. Giving brothers game, saving lives, okay? So please support. So let's get straight into it, man. Today's show, okay, shall be about Ukraine, okay? And we're going to have the ultimate passport bro, Mr. Theo Waff, break down his time in Ukraine, woman, life, the whole 9 yards. We're going to go deep into it today. Theo, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. It's been a fun month so far. So I'm just getting ready. I'm actually getting ready to go to either Ukraine or Poland at this point. So I'll be there. I have to meet people. So this is a big thing for me. So yeah, Ukraine's a big country.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, let's get straight into it, man. Because I think we all know who Theo is. He's a great guy. He's a helpful guy. He's a legend in this space. So you know who I am as well. Almost 10 years doing this. So let's give the intro here. No intro here, as if we're rappers. No intro needed. Let's get straight into it, man. So, Mr. Theo, you have some sort of love affair with Ukraine. Can I ask you, Theo, as to where's your favorite spots, brother, in Ukraine? Is it Kiev? Is it Odessa? Is it Kharkiv? Break it down for us, bro. What was the spot there that you love in Ukraine the most?
I've always loved Dnipro most of any other city. There's something like magical about the place. I've been there a few times. Dnipro has always been like central for me for Ukraine. So I would do the first city I like. Second would be Kiev. Second would be Lviv, and then last one would be Kherson. But of course, Kherson isn't nearly anything that it is like it was before the war. So Kherson was a very great place for Black men to be dating in Ukraine previously. But yeah, now it's kind of leveled. But Dnipro, even during the war, it hasn't suffered that much. And it used to be a closed city during the Soviet times. And that's just because, the history of Dnipro. It was considered to be Rocket City. A lot of their rockets were developed there. And a lot of the Soviet power, like the leaders of the Soviet Union, the thinkers of the Soviet Union, they came from Dnipro. Gorbachev, he was Ukrainian, and he actually came from Dnipro also. So Dnipro has been like, for me, I find it to be kind of like an uncanny city for me. I don't know why I like the women there more than any other place, but I actually do like the women there quite a lot.
Awesome. So you're telling me, brother, right? When you normally go to Ukraine, right? Because you've been there quite a few times. Your first
Yeah.
spot you go to, brother, to stay to is Dnipro.
Tell you the truth, first Kiev. First, go to Kiev, make sure everything is good in Dnipro, make sure if there's any problem, from then after I verify everything's cool in Dnipro, then I go there from Kiev. I usually take a train. You can fly there; it's very close. It's like half hour or something like that. But I prefer to first go to Kiev and make sure everything is cool.
Awesome, fantastic, bro. So I've heard for many years that the area called Kherson is the black man's spot without a single doubt in Ukraine. I'm trying to figure out before we go into the woman part. I just want to get that. I just want to touch upon it a bit. Why is that so? What is it about Kherson that it was just mythical or mystical for brothers?
There's a lot of college students there, and so it used to be a college town. So it was a place that there were like a lot of cute, beautiful young girls, and they would be influenced by Western culture, and they would know about black guys. So if you could speak in Russian and Ukrainian in either one of them, even you don't have to be fluent. If you're just doing kind of well, if you dressed well, held yourself with some sort of dignity, maintained frame, that would be the big thing. Always maintaining frame. Then you could get one woman after another wanting to date you. So yeah, it wasn't just me. It was a lot of my other friends. They were like, yeah, Kherson's the spot. That was before the war. Now, because it was occupied, and what the status of the city now, I don't know. I wouldn't go there because it's being bombed on a daily basis. So yeah, that's that's how that city goes. But Dnipro is still fine.
Wow. Okay. So let's get the overall aspects of the of Ukraine first before we go on front about Ukrainian women. I know they're checking for brothers, but let's. How about Theo? We, get the meat out, season it, make it tender, put in the oven, right before we eat it, brother. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
first question for you, Theo, right? When you go to Ukraine, where you staying, bro? What's your accommodation status like? Is it hotel, Airbnb? Break it down for us, bro.
I stay at the Hilton. So
let's go. Let's go.
I stay. I do at least $250 a night to stay at the Hilton. Sometimes like $300-400 a night. The reason I do that is because I'm very careful about my safety. When I go to Russia or Ukraine, you have to be very careful about where you're going and with whom you're doing business and who you're meeting. And somebody might flake on you. So that's why you have to confirm everything and then double confirm. So if I'm at the Hilton, I'm good in the beginning. There's a lot of other international hotels. Of course, I want to say I'm like a Hilton Diamond member. I think that's what it is, Diamond, something like that. One of the good things about Hilton, if you go anywhere internationally, is that their Wi-Fi setup is the same in every country. So if it's really easy to spoof your email, so your IP address, and make it appear that you're in the United States if you're using Hilton. That's one of the reasons why I like it. So if for a remote worker, it's fantastic. So I always go to the Hilton first. The Intercontinental is another good one. Of course, that's kind of bougie, both of those. Now, I will say this, guys. Let me just give you some lowdown. You can do Airbnbs. I have heard mixed stories about Airbnbs, and I would not do one personally. I've heard stories about there being no electricity, no internet, no water, no power, no heat, no water. And you can it's like really touch and go with Airbnbs. So you don't want to get out of the, like, let's say you have say you have your transportation. You don't want to get out of that transportation to your Airbnb. That the driver pulls off and you're basically stranded because your Airbnb isn't available, you're not able to get anything done, you're screwed over. You do not want that. That is a very bad situation. So you need to check and double check everything regarding Ukraine. Don't be just like, oh, I'm just gonna go there and have a great time, and there are blondes everywhere. Nope.
Flipping heck.
No.
Blondes everywhere.
No. You need to have you need to be cautious. That's my big word, my big point. Even in Dnipro, when I go to the hotels there, they don't have Western hotels. They have Ukrainian hotels. So I have to call. I have to make sure. I said, do you have power? Do you have is everything fine there? Is there any internet disturbance? Anything like that? And sometimes this is going to sound crazy, but I actually have the staff perform an internet speed check for me. And I make sure that there's not an internet problem. And then I go ahead and fly down or take the train down. Another thing, guys, I want to point out, this got a good stream. I'm giving you guys some good intel on this. When you land, you need to be careful about your transportation from when you land or you take a train into Ukraine. If you take a train to Ukraine or when you land, either one, the taxi or the transport that you take from there to your hotel, you need to make sure that it's secure. I've heard various stories about people disappearing, and you need to really understand and make sure that you have reliable transport from the airport to the hotel. There's some crazy stuff that can happen. Not in Russia, no, but in Ukraine, yeah. So you need to be careful. It doesn't always happen, but it can happen. And I've heard stories of it, and I'm like, So just be careful about that. Don't just take it for granted. Oh, I can just take I can just take an Uber. Yeah, for the most part, you can take an Uber. But there's some Ubers where they Uber disappear you. So be careful. Yeah. I usually, every time I go into Ukraine, I pay for like $150 for a limousine service, and that's just to make sure that everything is smooth between the airport and the hotel.
Oh wow, interesting, bro. So, but what can happen between the airport and the hotel? Is that like car hijackers, or could a taxi driver be like a double agent? He might drive you to some scary place, whatever. What can happen, bro?
You just disappear. You just disappear. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, you're in another area. You're in a semi-lawless environment. So you need to understand that. Now I know any Ukrainians listening to that would be like, it's not going to happen to you. And for the most part, it's not going to happen to you, but it can, and you need to be careful. So it's not like, for the most part, I lived a long time in Japan, and when I came back to America, I was very skeptical about my transportation. And for the most part, you're fine any airport transportation because they're verifying, the airport themselves verify the transportation services. So you're pretty good. In Ukraine, no, man, it's touch and go. So just be careful. That's my whole point.
So is that like in terms of ransomware and kidnapping then you're talking about, bro? Right, or deletion?
Just, you can disappear. That's all.
Okay. Theo. So
just be careful.
Make note of that, brothers. Make sure you use a reputable service. Shout out to Mr. Arthur Schultz for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, bro, for the support. Much appreciated, bro. Shout out to Mr. The International Quiet Storm for the $2 super chat. IP is an excellent interviewer. #passport bros. Thanks for the kind words, bro. Hopefully one day I win the Pulitzer Prize for Passport Bros journalism. Hopefully, bro. Hopefully. So now, next question for you, bro, is now in terms of, so obviously Ukraine history in a particular union right now in 2024 or before the war. Who was running that country, brother? Who was in control, in your opinion, brother? Who actually runs the country of Ukraine? Is it Russia by proxy? Is it Ukrainians? Is it the West? Break it down for us, bro, from what you observed.
It's almost always been Russia. It's always been particularly Putin's foreign policy to make Ukraine and Belarus as proxy states for the Russian Empire. and Russian Federation. And that has never stopped. That has always been a part of their foreign policy. So I forgot which stooge that they have, this puppet government that they'd always have in Ukraine that would be subservient to Russia. I will say this real quick about this, because I've known about this for quite a while. And when I was in grad school, my focus was on how to solve corruption in Ukraine. That was my singular focus. Basically, if you look at Russia after the fall of the Soviet Union, their standard of living has increased. But Ukraine is one of the few countries where, on average, their standard of living has decreased since the fall of the Soviet Union. And a lot of that is because they were unable to reform their institutions. Their taxation system is whack. And they were never able to really attract like Western investors correctly. So with the amount of corruption that they have, which is significant, the economy has always been in shambles. So the Russian economy is kind of iffy, but like I said last week, a lot of people's standard, like their median income increased to at least $5,000 a year, or like $5,000 a month. It was pretty good, especially in Moscow. Whereas in Ukraine, it's almost the same. There's a lot of like posts and websites and dialogues with people about how to live on US 200 a month. And living on US 200 a month, I mean, that's like, even Mexicans would think that's nuts. Like that's some whack crap, but it's okay. The average, a good woman's salary there is about $1,000 a month. And a good man's salary, like if the man is a programmer and he's working for a Western company, he's probably making around $2,000 a month. So you can tell what their wages are there. If you have two people together, they're making like $3,000 a month. That's considered to be baller.
Okay, thanks for that breakdown there, bro. So, brother, you as a Western Black American man, how were you treated there, brother? In terms of, you being a black man there, were you the only black man in your vicinity? Any sort of hate looks towards you, any sort of racism towards you, bro? Any sort of, animosity towards you? Break it down for us, bro.
No, there's none. Now, as I was alluding to last week about the Soviet system, when they talked about race, basically the idea of racism for the Soviet system, they don't want it because it impedes on their ability to spread communism globally. They wanted everyone to be a communist. So if there's racism, that's not going to work. That's not a good point. So that also infers that they want to be able to, intermingling between the people. Now, I didn't say this last week, but I'll say this again because you need to know it for Ukrainian women. Slavic women typically have 3 categories regarding dating, and they're rather strict on this. So the first one is Slavs should only date Slavs. That's it. Second, she can date, or like if she dates European, like Slavic can date European, but only European. So at least it can go to Ireland. And then the last one is she wants to meet the love of her life. That man can come from anywhere, and she just wants to be loved. So on this last category, there are by far more of these women in Ukraine than there are in Russia. Plus, on this category, like these women tend to want to have children. They tend to be prolific. So when you're talking about being a black man in Ukraine, their point of view is very simple, especially now because it's evolved over the last 20 years. They're basically like this. Let's say you're a white guy, right? Or you're a foreigner. They're like, how are you going to treat me? They're like, okay, tell me, how is it? How are you going to treat me? And then there's like all kinds of nationalities who want Ukrainian women. So then they've got to a point they're like, okay, well, black man, how are you going to treat me? Because you're just another nationality. You're just another race. So we're open to actually seeing how you're going to treat me. I have heard this. I've seen this time and time again in Ukraine. So the women will listen. They'll, like, if you want to date her, she'll definitely have, like, she'll at least entertain you. She won't be like, oh no, you're black, no way. She'll be like, she'll giggle a little bit, and then she'll at least be listening to what you have to say.
What about, so apart from woman, brother, general life in general, how you treat, you didn't experience any racism at all in Ukraine?
No. Dysfunction, yeah. Like, there's a lot of poverty in Ukraine. That's another thing too. You don't ever talk about this when you go to Ukraine. Don't even mention it. But it's there. I mean, it's obvious. But there's also a lot of beautiful buildings. There's also a lot of, like, great community areas. But there's obvious poverty there. I'm just saying that this is the thing. So you don't talk about it. But for the most part, I mean, there's some dark things going on in Ukraine. Same thing in Russia. You're going to see social dysfunction. But as long as you keep your head up and just keep on moving, you should be just fine.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Shout out to Mr. Border 369 for the $5 super chat. Salute to IP and Theo. Thank you, bro, for the support. Much appreciated, bro. So next question for you, Theo, is, so in your time in Ukraine, brother, did you see any sort of investments that Passport Bros could actually, invest in out there, or is investing in Ukraine a bad idea? If it isn't, what would you invest in there in Ukraine, bro? Into the business.
Real estate would be a good place, because you can get a condo there, a new condo for like $40,000, a newly built one. You don't want a Soviet built condo. You want a new Western built condo.
Okay,
that's an important thing. So you can before the war, you can get one for $40,000-$50,000. It wasn't that hard to do.
So, brother, is it regulated, the real estate industry, or is there corruption, around that, in the real estate industry?
Yeah. I mean, you got to know how to dance. So there's going to be some corruption over there, but as long as you can deal with it and then you can pay the money, you're fine. There's not going to be a mortgage, so you need to pay that out straight out with cash.
Okay. So have you considered buying a property out there in Ukraine before, bro?
Oh, goodness gracious.
No problem. I'll put you on mute there, Theo.
Okay.
Give you some privacy. You back?
Sorry. Yeah, somehow I muted. I turned off my sound. I'm like, what did I press? Like, what keyboard? So I'm good now. I'm good.
So I was asking there, Theo. So have you ever considered buying a property there in Ukraine, brother, in the past?
No. This is okay. So you want my real opinion about this? Like Russia and Ukraine, they're really good for exporting blondes. And there's a lot of educated blondes you can get from there. Like, there's a lot of good educated women you can get from there. I'm just straight out being honest. But actually living there is another thing. In particular, I would not want to live in Russia long term. Like a week or 2 weeks, that's about it. Get out. Ukraine, I could do there more, but I would be worried about living there long term. You can do it, but it would just be why? Because most Ukrainians have this love-hate relationship with their country, and they're trying to get out. So why you would want to be there? Although there's guys there talking, like, I've heard plenty of stories about guys just running through women. Well, if they stay there long term, they love them. They love being there. So those guys, I mean, I get it. I'm not that kind of type of guy. But it's just not. It's not necessarily someplace I would want to be long term. I'll give you an example of this. I mean, this. Okay, so this, maybe you think I'm being bougie, but this is something that gets to me. So, like, a lot of sushi restaurants are inside of pizza stores. So pizza restaurant and sushi are together. I view that as being sacrilege. I can't deal with that. So I'm like, why do you have sushi in a pizza restaurant? I don't get it. They're supposed to be separated. but I saw this many times together. I'm like, ugh. So like I don't know, kind of a bougie thing, but there's a lot of weird things in Ukraine, and it just it kind of gets under your skin after some time, and you're like, this isn't necessarily someplace I want to be. Also, there's a lot of narcotics usage, so you kind of want to stay away from that. But there's a lot of drug use there. Also in Russia, more in Siberia, but in Ukraine, it's definitely there.
Awesome. Thanks for the breakdown. Shout out to Josh John for the $499 super chat. Appreciate you, Josh John. Theo, brother, how do Latino men get treated by Russian and Ukrainian women?
Okay, I'll just break it down for you. Slavic women love Latinos. I'm surprised how much they love Latinos. And when I was in Brazil, that's when I dated a Russian. I was definitely, she was having the time of her life there. I've heard many stories about women, Slavic women, preferring Latinos over any nationality. So it's not that they, again, black, they want you also, but the Latino, they'll go especially fast for a Latino. I'm just saying. So yeah, especially you can dance. They want that.
So next question for you, Theo, is so brother, people. So in general, how are Ukrainian people like, bro? Are they good people? Are they kind people? Are they, introverts, extroverts, or are they shady people? Break down how Ukrainian people are across the board, bro, on average.
Normally, when you meet them, they're going to be cold, uninviting, unfriendly. That's how they are. And it seems like a wall. I'm used to them, so I don't even care. So they act that way. I'm like, yeah, I know you're warm underneath. So I'll just keep on talking to you. And that's what I do. I just keep on talking, and that you see their warm side. It's very much there. Like Russians, Ukrainians do not smile in public. So they, again, rarely going to be a smile. They go from place to place, usually with their eyes down. They're not looking around. They're not trying to get any attention. So that's just very normal. You have to get used to that. I never had a problem with it. I just sit there and straight out talk to them. I didn't care. Because I was always like, you're not going to be cold to me. So get that crap out of here. I'm just going to talk to you. I don't care. But a lot of times, that's what I say. They're going to seem particularly cold.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So Theo, so how do you meet people and make friends there in Ukraine in your experience, bro?
Just go up and talk to them. I'm really honest about that. I just sit back and start talking to people. I have no problem with it. I'll just say this one thing. Ukraine and Russia, but in particular Ukraine, they like Western accents. So they're going to think an English accent is sexy and also an American accent. So if you speak in Russian or Ukrainian with that accent, they're going to be turned on. The girls are going to be turned on. So all you have to do is just talk. I'm really honest. Just sit there and talk to them. And just be, the next thing, be sincere. That's a big one. Okay, guys, I just want, you guys need to listen into this. Just really make sure. In particular, Ukraine. Okay, Ukraine has had a history of invasions and mixed blood, especially between Turks and Mongols and Arabs, and also from other European sources. So they're more used to having different family structures. That being stated, women, particularly today, are used to Arabs and Turks going to Ukraine in order to get their freak on. And they're like, we don't want that. Plus, they have plenty of Ukrainian guys who are drunk or having this act going on, who just want their bodies. So when you talk to a Ukrainian woman, the first thing she's going to think is that you want to pound her out. Straight out. So you can't be acting in a way that is like that's where your actual goal is, because she can sniff it out. So don't be doing that. I just said talk with them more. If you talk with them over a period of time, they become very friendly towards you, and they'll be very nice and kind. Actually, in my point of view, from my humble point of view, they're actually warmer than the Japanese are over a long period of time. But the Japanese can also be rather cold if you know them over years. In relationships, again, I've had quite a few relationships with Ukrainian women. Ukrainian women can be entirely like girlfriend, like crazy, zany, like she acting like a kid, and then she could go straight cold, like super cold. And my recommendation is be Western when she goes cold, when she goes Slavic cold, and just look at her and say, stop that. Like, I know what you're doing. You're being cold towards me. Don't do that. And if you talk to her about it directly like that, she'll usually stop, or at least she'll talk to you about why she's being cold towards you. And I always found that to be really fair, because without it, you have a really big problem. You're going to have this moody, beautiful woman inside your house or inside your apartment, and you don't know what to do. And that's not the kind of situation you want.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. So next question for you, Theo, is now, brother, in terms of transportation. So in Ukraine, how does one move around, brother? How are you moving around? Was it Uber? Was it taxi? Was it bus? Was it subway? Break it down for us, bro.
Take the metro. I would take the metro. Either walk or metro. That's the way I would do it. I wouldn't. You could take a taxi. I wouldn't do it. I knew a lot of nice Uber drivers. You could do Uber. I wouldn't do Uber either. I would either do metro or walk.
Why wouldn't you do taxi?
Bus or tramway.
Bus or what? Tramway.
Bus or tramway.
Tram? What's tram? What's tramway?
Tramway is like a train with electrical carriage on top. So it's like on the road is connected to electricity on top. That's how it moves.
I see. So why not Uber or taxi? Why not? What's the problem with that?
You can't escape.
Is that more of a safety issue?
Yeah.
Flipping heck.
Yeah. I just wouldn't do it. I mean, you could. I mean, if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't do it. Nope. It's just the way it is. On a bus, you're fine. You can get out of a bus real quick. It's not hard. A lot of people around. It's good. Oh, and something else. Sometimes wild dogs like to ride on buses. So if they stop in a place, you might see a wild dog actually come up into your bus. Don't worry about it. I've had that happen a few times. But yeah, buses are fine. Metro is fine. It's usually really safe and beautiful. And walking is fine outside. I just wouldn't do any other. I know there are guys who are probably listening to me. They'll still go to Ukraine. They'll still do that. Fine, that's cool. That's you. I'm not setting foot inside of a taxi or an Uber.
Oh wow. Okay. Did you hear any stories, brother, of someone getting harmed by taking Uber and taxi? A brother? Oh wow.
Yeah. Yep. You may not go where you're supposed to go. So just be careful.
Flipping heck. So
that's why you have to really be careful. So that's why, like, when we're talking about other cities, like other countries, like Colombia or places like that, I always think there's a bunch of novices, because if you were in Russia or Ukraine, if you didn't know how to live, if you didn't have your smarts, you're going to get deleted. So you have to be smart from day one, and the entire country is smart. So I'm smart like that when I go to another country.
Wow, great breakdown so far. Thank you, Theo. So next questions for you is in terms of food. So do you like Ukrainian food? What's your favorite cuisine, and what is Ukrainian food made of, bro?
I like vaniliki, same as the other places. I like the street sandwiches. So they have a lot of lamb street sandwiches you can eat. I can eat that all the time. Thing I like in Ukraine is Italian carbonara. I eat a carbonara I don't know how many times. Borscht, I eat borscht quite a lot. Black bread, love black bread there. It's delish. A lot of other dishes. I just want to say a lot of the dishes in Ukraine are carb based, not a lot of protein. You're kind of looking at them like, why are you guys eating so much carb? Because they can make carbs cheaply. They can't get protein a lot. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to actually get food. Although it's there, it's just more difficult to get the variety that you need. I bought all the water I drank in Ukraine, also in Russia, was bottled. So definitely get bottled water. I wouldn't drink water from the tap, to be honest. Let me think. You can go to bakeries. The bakeries are fine. There's another thing too. On the kiosks, there's a lot of kiosks on the street. I always found that shopping with kiosks tend to be the best places to go. They tend to be really fun, family oriented, and you can talk to the people directly. I bought more than one cake from there. I like eating cakes from there. Eclairs, like basically like French patisserie. Like they're all over the place. So I would do that. They have good chocolate cakes. It's pretty good with salted caramel. I like it. Also, like believe it or not, in winter I always ate ice cream there. It's good stuff. So I'm just saying that there's some food there. It's a little bit harder to get to, but it's there.
Awesome, thank you, bro. So, cost of living in Ukraine, brother. When comparing it to America, which is cheaper, which is more expensive, and break down the cost of living there, bro.
Okay, so what is weird is that a lot of the cost of food there will be more expensive than the States. And we're like, what the heck is going on? And that's usually because of corruption or various other factors. But it doesn't make sense. But a lot of food prices are more expensive than the States, and that's just the way it is. I think it's weird. Strawberries, fresh fruit, stuff like that are more expensive. Bread is ridiculously cheap. In terms of other utilities like rent, things like that, cheap. You don't have to worry about it. Very, very cheap. You can get an Uber. Well, before the war, you can get an apartment like for $700 a month, fully furnished. Internet, water, electricity, everything paid for. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's the price level is ridiculously low there.
Awesome, bro. Now, brother, safety. Would you say so? Safety in the daytime, safety in the nighttime, safety during nightclubs, bars. As a Western black man, break down safety aspect, bro, for us. Is
I know a lot of guys who definitely went out. I've gone out to nightclubs also in Ukraine. I would keep your eyes open, very much so. You'll see some hot chicks in there, like probably some of the most beautiful women you've ever seen. Like it'll make any AI drawing and like Instagram look like a comic book. Those women are hot, especially when they go out. It's amazing. But that being stated, a lot of times it would be like there would be a deficiency in the personality, or there would be there's a problem, there's a dysfunction in the culture. So you're trying to talk with them. I wouldn't go out that much to nightclubs, to be honest with you guys. I don't think it's wise to do that just because they are so guarded. There are men watching you. There are people who know what you're doing, and it's not necessarily easy to get out. So just be careful.
wow. Okay. Awesome, bro. Awesome. So next question for you, brother, is culture. So is Ukraine a conservative culture or is it a liberal culture? Is it a mixture of two? How big is Western culture over there? Break down the cultural aspect for us, bro.
It's definitely conservative. Oh yeah, it's conservative. Yeah. So, I mean, you have no idea how many Ukrainian women have talked to me privately about how they view Western liberalism to be nuts, just straight up. So the women can have divorces, yes, and there are other things that happen in Ukraine. It's usually due to economic factors, but let's just say there's a lot of things they do not accept that we accept in the West. Yeah, so it's much more conservative.
Awesome, bro. So, follow-up question, brother, is lifestyle. So, what's the lifestyle for the average Ukrainian there, brother, in Ukraine? Is there like a huge gap between rich and poor, middle class? Is it like a fast-paced lifestyle like in New York? Break it down for us, bro.
It's like everyone's poor. There is some middle class and rich people there, but there's a lot of poverty. I just want to be honest. The country is struggling. It always has. So it's not necessarily doing well. So yeah, I mean it's unfortunate because there's no reason for them to be doing that badly, and a lot of it has to do with the corruption, which has been systemic, particularly post Soviet Union. So they really have an issue. So like a lot of times they have their job, of course. You have to work, and then they have their internet, their phone, and the men or women might meet up and talk and drink a lot of drinking, alcohol. One big things like it maybe once a month, the women in particular go to an opera or go to a theater performance. That's a big thing. They really like that. They like the arts. So it's good if you know about the arts and you're willing to take her to an opera or to a theater. She'll definitely be happy about that. I've gone there in Russia and in Ukraine. I went to the Bolshoi in Russia. It's wonderful. I'm just talking. It is worth the money. It's actually not that much money, but it's worth the night or the experience. Internet access tends to be, to believe it or not, where I was in the Hilton, my internet access was faster to Seattle than it was from Austin to Seattle. I don't know why, but in Kiev they had a really fast connection. So you go out, it's fun. There's a lot of cafes out like a normal European city, especially Kiev. Also Dnipro. You can read newspapers outside, read books, have a cafe, have something to eat, some chocolate, something like that. And you can sit there and talk with people. You'd be surprised how many people there actually in Ukraine have been to the West and they came back to Ukraine because they like the culture, they like their family. And so those people, I just want to say this little thing. If you see someone with a dog outside, they probably have been exposed to the West. And so you can actually go up to a lot of people, you can go up to their dogs and pet them. I did this all the time. And they'll be like, oh, okay, you're a Westerner petting my dog. We're cool with that. If the dog growls at you, that's probably someone who hasn't been outside the country. So stay away. I remember that. That was fun. Let me think. Again, talk about the women. The women do not want to be single mothers, but a lot of them are. And they become single mothers for various reasons. They have a kind of what can I say? They know that the likelihood of them being married and from start to end is very low. So for a lot of the women there, like they just want to be in a relationship. So if they can at least have a relationship, they're cool with that. So if you wanted, for example, like say you were told against marriage and you just wanted to go there and be with a woman and have a relationship with her and have children with her, but there was no marriage, there are women in Ukraine who will entertain that. As long as you are loyal to her and you will not leave her, she's down. And then there's women who do actually try to do the marriage route. I just want to say, there is a lot of issues in the Ukrainian family. So the Soviet Union, I would say, largely destroyed a lot of the family unions, the Institute of Family for Ukraine. And before the Soviet Union, there was barely any divorce or single mothers in Ukraine. After the Soviet Union, it was definitely happening. So one of the reasons for this is domestic violence. It's an issue. So she might talk about things happening to her. Drug usage, narcotics, rampant. Alcoholism, big thing. So she just decided she's not taking it anymore. She's leaving. That is there. I've heard this hundreds of times. The one that I don't accept is she says we became two separate people. I ain't gonna accept that. Nope, not gonna happen. But you will hear that often in why she's a single mother. I'm just saying, if she, my personal opinion, guys, if she says that she just like fell out of love, or that she became two separate people for the man she was before, she either had an affair or she just did not give a crap about the relationship and was not responsible. Either way, don't date her. That's it. Done. And now you have war widows. And Ukraine has lost close to like 250,000 people so far during the war. And so there are definitely war widows around.
Wow. Bashir, what's Bashir? Spell that for me, please. That Russian place. You said
Russian?
You went to a place called Bashir that you said is awesome in Russia. That's expensive. Like 2 minutes ago.
Bashir?
Bashir.
I don't.
You said like 2 minutes ago that it's an expensive place in Russia, but it's worth going to. Not that expensive.
Oh, let me think. I'm trying to think what I just said. No, I can't remember. I can't remember my line of thought. I have to really, when I'm talking, I actually have to remember my steps. I'm gonna actually in certain places in either Kiev or St. Petersburg or Moscow. So I actually have to remember what I'm seeing in order to talk about it. Yeah.
No worries, bro. Okay, so I'll see in the stream. It's time to after, and then you can check it through, brother. So, next question for you, bro. So before going to the woman part, brother, right? I got 2 questions. Let me read super chat real quick here. Shout out to Mr. JG for the $199 super chat. How does a Ukrainian woman differ from Russian woman? Break it down for us, Theo.
Okay. So Ukrainian women are by far more family oriented, and they really want to have a man. That would be the one I would really say. They really want to have a man. And they tend, if they love you, they tend to love harder. One of the things we always said when I was in Russia and Ukraine, was that Russia was like America and Ukraine was like Mexico. I was like, that's kind of appropriate. So, like, you know how, like, again, guys, in America, okay, Mexicans can reproduce, and so do Ukrainians. Like, Russians don't reproduce that much. And you see, like, in the West right now, Americans don't reproduce that much. But so one of the reasons why they're having the war right now, just to be honest, is that they want to take Ukraine's population because Ukrainians multiply so much more than Russians. And Russia is definitely having a demographics issue. So I just want to say that that's a real issue. Ukrainians can multiply by far more than Russians do.
Awesome, bro. So, brother, we're passport bros, IT bros, and hopefully we can aspire brothers to get into IT. Look out for my Python course coming very, very soon. Make sure you join up for it. It'll be life-changing, etc., etc. Brother, how does Ukraine fit into IT passport bros? Are remote working there, living there for a bit, remote working? Is it worth doing, or should we avoid that and only use Ukraine for holiday purposes and finding a wife?
If the war ends, I would do Kiev. Yes, Kiev. Yep, Lviv, Kiev. Those 2 cities, I would actually do it. Even though I like Dnipro, I think I like things a little scary. Kherson, I like. Zaporozhye. Zaporozhye is a little erotic, funky place. I've met some of the most erotic girls from there. So I'm just saying, Zaporozhye. It's where one of the nuclear power plants where they're having the war at that's this located right there. So yeah, it's kind of Zaporozhye is kind of a big thing. So I would say, passport bro, you want to be in Kiev.
Okay, and that's for like infrastructure, woman, internet speed, safety, cost of living, right?
Yeah, I would say, guys, like, let's say that you somehow met a woman who lived in Dnipro, or you met someone who met in Zaporozhye or Kherson, Kharkiv. Kharkiv is another nice place, another nice city. And like, you fell in love with her, I would bring her to Kiev with you and stay in Kiev. That's just the way to go.
Awesome. Fantastic. Awesome. Awesome. So now let's go to the woman part, Theo. Mr. Theo, I'm about to tell you, right, what is considered the most important question in the history of mankind, bro. Okay? This question, Theo, is so important and so powerful it can move mountains, brother. Okay?
Oh,
It's
God.
so powerful and vibrant, brother. It can cause volcanoes, torpedoes, hurricanes, and tsunamis, brother. Brother, a question so pure and unique, it can make mankind walk on water like Christ did in the Bible, bro. A question so elegant and poised, it can turn water into wine and wine into water. A question so powerful, brother, that as soon as you say, are they checking? Seismic waves hit the Earth's sphere within seconds, bro. It's that powerful, bro. It's a mighty question. The question for you, Mr. Theo, is: are Ukrainian women in Ukraine, right, checking heavy for brothers, black men, passport bros? Break it down for us, bro.
They're checking. Yeah, but they're checking for anyone. I would really say that about Ukraine. But they're also guarded. So they don't want to just be used. So like someone like you, right? Let's say that you knew a little bit of Ukrainian, a little bit of Russian. She would she would like, she would want to at least talk to you, and she would want to see how you treat her. If you treat her well, she'd be into you. Um, it would be because of you, not necessarily because you're black, but it would be because of you. But if she sees that you're trying to use her body, she's going to be like, okay, you're a womanizer. I got plenty of womanizers. I know plenty of men who are womanizers. Why do I need you? And that'd be the end of it.
Okay, interesting there, bro. So why are Ukrainian women checking for brothers? Because I've heard in that Kherson region, right, in Ukraine, there's a lot of love that Ukrainian women give to black men. They give a lot of love there in that Kherson region. Brothers I spoke to in the past, last year before the war, like IP, go to Kherson, bro. That's where you get more of love. You mentioned there that it's the young population, college, etc., etc. So would you say, brother, right, that that's the area that black men got to focus on, or can we get love in Kiev, Lviv, or for a black man, it's Kherson, and that's it, and Dnipro.
You're not doing Kherson now
Mm.
because of the war. It was under Russian occupation. So there was no, it just got liberated. It's being bombed daily. So nope, you ain't going there now. If the war ended and things got back to normal, then Kherson would definitely be a place to go to. But you need to really be aware of the infrastructure of how everything is going on there. I'd be very cautious of going there. Now, before the war, oh heck yeah, because Kherson is kind of like a Yokohama for black men. I mean, you're gonna do well there. So they're just more laid back, having fun. They have cool stuff there. They got nice river. It's closer to the Black Sea. There's all kinds of things to do. It's fun. A lot very family oriented, and they got a lot of college girls. So yeah, they're listening to music from the West. There's a good appreciation. There's a lot of girls who like to learn English. She's gonna know about you. If you're in that city, she's gonna want to date you. So there's a lot of opportunities. Just saying.
Interesting. Okay, fantastic. So, Theo, when you were in Ukraine, how were you meeting women, brother? Was it dating apps? Was it cold approaching? Was it high class vintage, wine tasting sessions, brother? Or was it, the museum? Is it a park? Break it down for us, bro.
Don't use an app. I have no idea why you use an app. That's, as far as I'm concerned, you're being lazy. Don't use an app. You're going to waste your time. There's what we call pro daters. There's a lot of pro daters on the apps. And so these are women who expect you to wine and dine them. And they're hot, just want to say, but they're for your money, not for anything else. So I would not do an app at all whatsoever. What I would do is learn some Russian. There's some, again, like I like the colloquial Ukrainian. Learn Ukrainian. Learn some Russian or Ukrainian. Either one. Ukrainian is probably better right now. All my Ukrainian sources are saying learn Ukrainian. So do that, and what can I say? Do cold approach. It's so easy to do cold approach there. So just sit back and talk to people. Go to wine tasting. I did that. I did vodka tasting when I was there, believe it or not. Vodka tasting. Go to like high-end restaurants because it's gonna be cheap for you. To be honest, it's strange. A lot of food prices are expensive, but the restaurants are cheap. I don't know why. So go to good restaurants, museums, anything like that, churches. Just sit there and talk to people, and see that she'll talk to you. You'd be surprised at some of the most beautiful women who will definitely talk to you, just because you're Western and she wants to know about you.
Okay, awesome, bro. Fantastic. Say museum again, Theo.
Same what?
Say museum again.
Museum.
Okay, you say it differently. Okay, must be the American or the French influence you got, brother.
Museum. So I just said I said it in Russian. Sorry. Museum. So, yeah.
Museum, right? Is that how you say it in America?
Yeah,
museum.
Museum. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, bro. So amazing, Theo. So that's how you were meeting women, brother. So, brother, how did you cold approach them? Was like, hey, you have beautiful blonde hair. Be my wife tomorrow.
No,
was it that way, brother?
No.
How did you pick it up, bro?
Just sit there, talk to them about any topic, or like, I want to talk to you about this, or like, hey, can you help me, or hey, what are you doing here, or like, tell me about yourself, or like, I'm a foreigner and I just got here and I'm learning more. Can you tell me about like what's in this part of the city or what's popular here? Would you like to go with me over there, or like, I want to take you to dinner or something like that? It just really, they're the ones. I just want to say, out of all the women in the world, even more than Japanese, I have no problem doing a cold approach to Slavic women. I'll just straight to it. I really don't have any problem, because one thing is that those women are not going to attack you. They're not going to be like, anything like that. They're going to be like, wow, this Westerner wants to talk to me. Cool. So
amazing.
Like, as long as you're not there and trying to feel her up, yeah. Because I was going to say this again. She's gonna be like, hey, there's a lot of womanizers here. Why do I need you? These women are up on that. They're not playing around. They're going to expect you to be a womanizer. Yeah. So you're going to have to deal with that from the beginning.
So let me ask this, Theo, right? So were you cold approached by Ukrainian women yourself?
I wonder if I was. I would say that women definitely made opportunities for conversation. That's for sure.
Yeah. So what kind of signals would they give you, bro? Looking at you or playing with their hair?
Yeah, look at you. Look at you. Just straight up look at you. Look at you with a small smile. That's it. That's all you need. Straight out talk to them. Yeah, it's easy. It's fun. I think my Russian girlfriend was like that. Yeah. The other one, Anna, was like that. Let's see, Angelica was like that. Natalia was like that. Yeah, just straight out. They'll especially they really want you. They'll definitely talk to you.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. Now, Theo, let me ask this, right? So, communicating with Ukrainian women, English, okay, or must we learn Ukrainian or Russian?
It's best. I'm talking straight out. It is best to speak in Russian, at least bare minimum. If you can get Ukrainian, you definitely want to get Ukrainian as well. Now, you don't have to speak it perfectly. This language is very hard to understand. Both languages are hard to understand. These are my two most difficult languages. They are bears. But the thing is to kind of like Japanese girls in this way. Because Japanese girls, if you're a big guy, they think you're cute. If you are a Westerner and you're trying to speak in their language and you're doing your best and they see you struggling and you are doing it with integrity, she's going to be really appreciative of you. And she's like, gonna be like, wow. And then she'd be like, well, my English isn't as good as your Russian or something like that. Then you have a good position to talk with her. So do it. That's something that is good. You going there without Russian or Ukrainian, I would not do that. Your opportunities are definitely limited.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Would you say the women who speak English there in Ukraine are 3 or 4s mostly?
No.
Okay.
No. Although there is some 3 or 4 culture there, largely speaking, it's not there. Yeah, they're just not. The women are not. They're looking for a husband. Like, I'll just say this: they're definitely looking for a provider. Again, I have a lot of sources. I talk with Ukrainians every single day. I've talked with Ukrainians every single day for the last 10 years. So, like, again, report from the war. All my friends said the same thing. The women have become more beautiful. They have become more appreciative of men. They really want a man now. And the guys, the foreign guys who are in Ukraine with the women have smoke shows. Like, absolutely hot babes. Because these women will definitely date you. And it's not like I can see an ABW. Well, once the war is over, she's going to leave you. Nope. They're not ratchet at all. These women want kids, and they definitely want to appreciate you. Last time I was in Ukraine, it was 3 years ago. And I remember a Ukrainian woman with her man. She was on the airplane, and her man was from Western Europe. She was so proud to have a Western European husband. You could just tell it by how she acted. And when she went home, she was like, I'm showing my man off. That's how she's going to be with you. She wants to show other people that she got the guy. So you just being a Westerner, taking care of yourself, you can pay the bills, she's definitely going to be happy with you.
Incredible. I got a super chat for you, Theo. If Ukrainian, shout out to JG for the $4.99 super chat. If Ukrainian woman would accept unmarried status, would she also accept another woman? If
no,
what? Sorry,
no, that is delusional. JG, that is delusional BS. These women will not accept that. She'll say you're a womanizer, and she will eliminate you. Not only that, make sure you understand this. If you have kids with her, you will never see those kids again. Forget it. And there's no alimony payments. There's no transfer of resources, really. It's just that your kids are gone. So do not be looking at another woman. So, yeah, I would just say, like, I'll say one thing about a lot. I've asked this from a lot of sources.
Pardon me.
Ukrainian wives' bed tend to be hot. So the marriage bed is hot. These women definitely put out in marriage. So her view is like this: I did everything you wanted in the bedroom, and I've always been loyal to you, and I'm hot, I'm beautiful for you, I do all this stuff for you, and you want another woman, you're gone.
Flipping heck. So brother, no side chicks, no main chick, that's not happening. Nope.
I wouldn't even, it's kind of like Mexicans. I would barely even look at other women. Straight up. If you're in Ukraine, you have a Ukrainian girlfriend, do not look at other women. Don't be checking them out. You could check out your girlfriend's booty all the time. She's like, cool, you're checking out my booty. You're checking out my chest. You like my hair? Cool. Look at me like a piece of meat. Go ahead. That's what she's there for. But if you're looking at another woman, she will know, because she's used to womanizers. And so she's going to be like, hey, you're a womanizer. I can see how you're checking this other woman out. I see your eyes are wandering. Boom, gone. She will execute.
Would it be that swift? Wouldn't she speak with you? Hey, what's going on here? Am I not good enough? Or will she just leave and pack up? That's a bit too drastic there, Theo.
No,
would I want to check like that?
She'll leave. She might yell at you for a second and then leave. They're not going to do drama. They're just not. They're very practical in this way. This is something I really like about them. They're just not. They're not going to play around, because they're going to be like, hey, I don't want to be a single mother, and you're acting in a way that's going to make me into a single mother. So I'm getting rid of you. Cool. I like that.
Damn. Okay. Interesting. So, feminism, brother, is that something we should be concerned about in Ukraine amongst the women? Feminism?
No. They have a culture of working from the Soviet Union that has always been there. So that culture is there for quite a bit. So they're going to be used to working, but they're not. It's these women want to be women. They're hyper feminine. They don't want to be men. They're not going to do a trans thing. They're not going to no transformers there. I mean, there's a few, but not like what we have here. Like for here, you see these transformers on the West, right?
Hmm.
Ukrainian women look at that largely as a shame. They're like a woman. A woman was a proud, beautiful woman. Why does she want to be a man?
Hmm.
Women want to be women there. I'm just saying. So don't like. It's not. You're not gonna. I wouldn't say there's feminism like there is in the West. The women are going to work. The women might own property. They might own an apartment, but who cares? Because it's usually given by the government or some other means from Soviet Union times. There's a transfer. So she has that. She might have some nice clothes, something like that, but that's to get a man. That's what she's trying to do. There's daycare there. The daycare tends to be free. So if she's working, there's something that she can send the kids to, right? But for the most part, she doesn't want to be a single mother. She doesn't want to lift it by herself. I have heard, I don't know how many single mothers I've talked to from Ukraine. They have told me this again and again. Their lives as being a single mother is hard. And they do not want to be, it was never their intention. They don't understand, like I explained to them like how ABW intentionally do that, but like it's because of government services. So there is no welfare state in Ukraine. So she can't feed herself, she can't feed her kids, they all go hungry. That's the way it goes. So it's not like here where you're actually a woman is paid to be, I can say what, depraved. Not in Ukraine. The women do not want to do that at all.
Awesome intel so far. So when you were there in Ukraine, Theo, what about in terms of other races of women there? Asian woman, Black woman, Latina woman. Did you see them there, brother? Were they there, and were they checking for brothers? Break it down for us.
Black women are definitely. There's actually a decent community of like half Black, half Ukrainian women in Kiev.
Oh.
So you can definitely date them. Yeah, I know guys who do research on that. I'll get his book. I'll send it to you on Facebook. But yeah, there's one of my good friends. We went to University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana. We are part of the same department. So there are those women there. There's some very beautiful half Black, half Slavic women in the area. Of course, there's half Ukrainian, half Asian. There's a number of them. So, yeah. That also half Turkish, half Arab. Yeah.
Oh. Can Black men date these women?
If that's what she wants, yeah. But let's say it would be easier to date her and have a good relationship with her than it would be dating a Western woman. Straight out, you'd have a better chance.
Incredible, Theo. Incredible. So let me ask this, Theo, right? Did you have any eyes for the non-Ukrainian women, or were you only going for blondes and pure Ukrainian chicks?
Almost every woman I've dated there has been blonde. I think my longest love there was a brunette, but sometimes she'd go blonde, but she's a brunette. But the woman I'm still talking to on a daily basis is blonde. The woman I saw her in 2021. The one I saw in 2013, gorgeous blonde. I mean, they're just blondes. There's a lot of blondes there, straight out. So it's one thing when I talked with them. Like one of the girls said to me, she said she's a little worried that if she doesn't make me happy, I'd just go get another blonde. Also, you could do age gap there, despite what other people say. You could definitely do age gap there. So, like, I'm 50 years old. If I wanted to date a blonde who's 28, I can do it. I can pull it off. Especially if you got language, it's not that hard to do. There's a lot of people saying they only want a 10-year difference or 15-year difference. You can go much earlier, younger than that. So, I mean, it just depends on what she wants. If you're in your 30s, you can definitely date women between the ages of 20 and 23 at will. Just saying.
Let's go.
So it's not hard to do. There's quite a number of them.
Would you say that?
I just want to say it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Would you say that Ukrainian women prefer older men?
Older, yes. Yep. Because they're less likely to be womanizers.
Awesome.
This word I'm using, womanizer, I have heard it time and time again from one Ukrainian woman to another. They know this word in English, womanizer. They're like, you are a womanizer, or like, this guy is a womanizer. I do not want this man. And they are big on it. So they just do not want womanizers at all.
You know what, Theo, right? I'm going to ask this question, right? It's about the beauty of Ukrainian women. For many years, I've heard that they are probably the best looking woman in Europe. And that's a statement. That's a huge statement. That's us considering Swedish women, Denmark women. Brother, can you confirm just how beautiful are these Ukrainian chicks, brother? Would you rank them high or mid? Break it down for us, bro, on average.
They're exceptionally beautiful.
Damn.
But I wouldn't say they're erotically beautiful. But they're, except for a family member, they are exceptionally beautiful. So I would say like more Swedish, a little bit more on the erotic side, and Russian girls can go sometimes more towards erotic, a lot of times more just like normal everyday. Ukrainian girls, they actually have, I'm just thinking of all kinds of memes right now. A lot of them have more curves, so they're not slim thick, but there are some curvy ones, and on a day-to-day basis, they are more beautiful, like genuine, classic beautiful. And they maintain their beauty a lot of times, well into like 45, 50, 55 years old. So it's pretty good. They do not want to be fat. They do not want to look old. They maintain their beauty. They know it's one of their weapons. So they want to keep it. What else can I say about them?
Body?
Their bodies are all natural. They're very beautiful. There's not really that much cosmetic surgery. It is there, but it's not like Colombia. They're for the most part they don't have the money to pay for cosmetic surgery. So they're mostly natural, straight up.
Amazing. Now, obviously, these are white women. Hey, facts, not feelings. You gotta be respectful in the live stream chat, or I might have to deal with that, bro. You gotta be respectful, right? So if you disagree, that's cool. Say in a different tone. Be respectful, please. Okay, just be respectful.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions as well, send in the super chat or PayPal. Those are the rules. Or you call in later on and you speak your piece. Be respectful, please. Okay. So next question for you, Theo, is in terms of so Theo, let me ask this, right? Okay. Age, right? And white women, they don't age on average. We know that. How do Ukrainian women age, brother? Because obviously, I'll keep it real. Black women age the best when it comes to race of woman. Then East Asian women. The rest, I don't know. Where do Ukrainian women rank, brother? Do they age well?
A lot of them age really well. I want to say some points though real quick. I've known some very beautiful drop-dead Ukrainian women who, after 2 years of war, their beauty has disappeared.
Damn.
So I just want to say that because the stress. So I know a number of them. There are others, a lot more, who became more beautiful over time. If they keep themselves and they maintain themselves, they're gonna be fine. I don't know how many times, like my matchmaker, he would show me a photo of someone. I'd be like, yeah, she's hot. She's looking pretty good. And she's like, she's 46 years old. I'm like, nope, sorry, she's not looking good now. But I didn't think she was 46. I thought she was like 26. that happens a lot of times there. So you have to say, like, how old are you? Like, trying to get her age. There's something I want to talk about real quick too. Two things I want you guys to be cautious about and don't do. First thing, you're not going back to her place. Her place, again, she could be in a Soviet-based, Soviet time period apartment. A lot of Westerners are not ready for that. I lived in one personally, so I know what that's like. But she's going to be a little bit hesitant for you to be in that environment. So you're not going back to her place. That's a big first thing. Second, do not ask about her father. Just ask her about her family. And whatever she says about her family, you accept it. If she doesn't say anything about her father, don't ask questions about her father. I would say that is for both Ukraine and Russia, but in particular for Ukraine.
I don't know about that, Theo, because obviously, like, to me, right, if I'm going to wife a chick, I gotta know if her father's alive, or they divorce her parents or whatever. Why can't I ask about her father, bro? Because if I don't know much about her father, obviously, but a woman needs a man in the household. I don't know.
No. It's not like feminism. Okay, so back in the day, he could have died. He could have died in the Afghan war. He could have gotten AIDS. He could have gotten COVID and died. He could have got into an accident and died. He could have drunk himself to death, literally. He could have overdosed and died that way. He could have been working for the mafia and he died that way. He did some sort of dangerous work and now he's dead. There could have been a divorce because he was a womanizer and she doesn't even know her dad. The mother could have just gone out there, doesn't know who the father is either. And she just raised a child anyway. There's all kinds of reasons for there not to be a father. And I would say, like, again, especially after World War II, and Ukrainians lost, like, especially the big cities, they lost, like, in some areas, they lost like half of their marriable male populations. But that would be like low. So some of them were like 80%. So having a father is kind of like a sensitive topic. So it's just something that you don't talk about. What really is going, even though the father wasn't there, the mother was there teaching the daughter how to get a husband. That's a big difference between the West, because the West was the women are teaching the girls how not to have a man. The mothers in Slavic countries are teaching their daughters how to retain and attract a man so that he's happy with her and that she can have a husband. That is the goal, to have a husband. So you're going to be in good hands with that mother. Don't worry about it.
So I'm supposed to believe, Theo, that a woman, a Ukrainian woman, right, that doesn't know her father, has been raised by a single mother all her life, is going to be all right. She's going to be all right.
In Ukraine, yes. In Russia, also, yes. You just have, you might look at the nuance, look at what's really going on, try to figure it out of what was actually happening. Talk to the mother, see what her experience was, see what kind of what happened, and she might tell you straight out. Like, she might show you photos like, he beat the crap out of me and I had to go, or he was a drunk and I had to go. And she might have some sort of horrible story about how she raised her daughter alone without government assistance, without assistance from anyone, and she did it all so that her daughter can have a better life. The one thing too is that the mother is going to want you to marry her daughter, so that she's definitely going to be promoting it. So it's not like hostility that you have in the West. No, not like that at all.
Okay. Now, what about body count with these Ukrainian chicks, bro? In terms of, do they have a high body count on average, low body count? Can we find virgin women there? Break down the average body count there, brother, in Ukraine.
This is where you have to actually talk to them. You got a wide spectrum. So, I mean, the girl I'm with right now, her body count is 1. That's it. That was before me. Just the way it is. The girl I love the most.
How old is she? The first one, please.
Right now, she's 33.
One body count of 33.
Yeah. Another one that I know, the girl that I liked the most, crazy about her. I stopped counting around 15 when she gave me her examples. I was like, I couldn't take it anymore.
What do you mean, her examples? What do you mean?
She was 15. Giving me what her history, what happened.
Oh, wow. Of who she was dating, the men.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Stuff happened. I mean, it's morbid stories. It's just, so, things, she needed her father. Let's just say that. She really needed her father. Her father just disappeared one day, just left. And her mother barely got an explanation. It did severe damage to her. And then the stepfather was crap. So yeah, she had daddy issues. But she reformed and later on. But she hasn't had anyone for at least 5 years, I think. But yeah, I stopped counting after 15. There are some girls who will definitely put out after 3, 4, 5 dates, something like that. But for the most part, the girls will not. You can definitely find, especially in the cities, you can definitely find girls with body counts above 10. It's not common, but it's there. Most women have a very low body count. Just straight out, to be honest. One of the women I'm talking to right now, she's a war widow. I've had a good time talking with her for about a month. I got introduction to her from a matchmaker. Her body count is 1. She's 34 years old. 2 kids, 1 man. That was her husband. What happened with that situation was womanizer, another one. So he dated another woman while they were married. She found out, kicked him out of the house. He got, forced into the military. He died. So she's a widow now. Okay. So they're just giving you an example. You're going to get some variety of what happened. The red flag, I just want to say the big red flag, if she's been to the Middle East, oh yeah.
Dubai.
God. Yeah, it's over. If she's been to China or China, Korea, or Japan. Yeah, it might be a little bit radioactive. Yeah. So especially Korea. So just stay away from her.
Hey, Theo's dropping game here. I got a story about my Korean experience, but before I say it, Theo, why should we avoid women that have been to Dubai, Japan, South Korea, Middle East, China? Why are they getting ran for by guys there, right?
Well, let's say that they're working something there. That's all I can say.
Flipping heck.
That's all I can say. You're totally working. So something might be going on. So okay, just stay away from that. If she's been to, I would also say to America for an extended period of time, radioactive. She's been to the UK for a year, and she doesn't give you a real explanation of why. The other one, she's been to like South America for 6 months, and she's beaming with a big smile. Oh yeah, she got it. I've met more than one woman who had that expression. I was like, okay, I know what happened to you. She's like, yeah, I want another guy like that. I was like, it's not going to be me, honey. Oh yeah, there's definitely there, but there's a lot. Let's say in those countries, there's a lot of girls who live with their parents until they get married, have barely dated, have barely any experiences with guys, and definitely have a fantasy about dating you. So, in that way, it's kind of like Japan.
In my time in South Korea, I was cold approached by a Ukrainian woman, bro, out of nowhere. Beautiful chick, but I knew you're in South Korea. You tell me what job you do, ain't happening. It's not happening. I let it go, bro. It ain't happening, man. I know the deal, man. And this is why,
Yeah,
brothers, think with your brain and not with your little guy. You know, have foresight. Don't let sex control you, right? Don't let it control you. If it controls you, you're gonna be. You might wife up the wrong woman in your life. She might tear you apart. And you're a Frip. You've been here for a long time. You're from that country. You're blonde, right? South Korean dudes will be all over you without a single doubt. Okay, so I kept away. It's not happening. Picking
yeah.
up for what do you think, Theo?
Oh, I definitely agree with you. Yeah, you have to be careful. So, give an example. When I was in Tokyo, I was at a bachelor party, and we were at a hostess club in Roppongi. We are the like the other side of the street where the crazy stuff happens. And my hostess was Russian, and so sure, the whole time that she was sitting next to me, she was nude, straight up, no clothes on. So I'm just talking to this gorgeous nude Russian woman, right? And I speak in Russian, so I'm just sitting there having fun talking to her. And so I had another friend too. He spoke in Russian, so he's talking in Russian to her as well. And I was just looking at her. I was just like, "Yeah, don't wife this up." So every once in a while, she just goes to the pole, do her thing, and then come back and sit next to me, right? Don't wipe them up. No,
Mm,
you just gotta look at them. See, my always thing was I was always looking at that was like what a loss. If only I could have gotten you, and I could have
before.
got you to marry me before. Yeah, because she's like prime breeding material.
Mm.
So, but you're ruined when you go back. You're ruined. So I'm not touching that. So it was like,
Same here, Theo. I was surprised like this. You're approaching me. She'll ask me questions. How long are you here for? What do you do for
yeah,
work? Where you living? I'm like this, that. I'm like, oh, cool. Also, okay, what are you doing here? So I've been here for a long time now. I'm doing these jobs. So when you bounce around different jobs, they say this, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, I know what you're up to. Um, you know, beautiful chick, brother, blonde
mm,
chick. Not that I pedestalize blondes. I actually rank white women quite low in my preferences, but I'm just saying, just general, beautiful in general. But I didn't get a number. I was like, no, there's no point. I just don't deal with 3 or 4s. It's my way of life. I don't deal with them. So that was it.
yeah. So for me, after I lost my wife, my Japanese wife, the reason I went with ultimately Ukrainian blonde was because it was the furthest away from like Japanese. So when I look at it, like blonde hair, blue eyes, it's not going to remind me of an Asian. But if I was dating like a girl with like Ukrainian with black hair, I nearly start crying. I couldn't date it. So I was like, yeah, I needed the blonde. So
Mm,
it went a long way.
yeah. So Theo, right? Let me ask this. Shout out to Mr. Alphonse Jobs for the $2 super chat. Please get the likes up. Get the likes up, please, brothers. Please get the likes up. Please support the channel. That will be greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. Awesome. Get the likes up, please. So, Mr. Theo Waf, right? You're big on Ukraine chicks. Give us reasons why passport bros should wife up a Ukrainian, brother. What kind of wife attributes do they bring? Hold on, Phil, right? And this attribute here is very key for me, brother. So close your eyes, Phil. Everyone close your eyes and let's picture this scenario, right? You're an IT bro. You've done my Python course. You've done Phil's cloud course. You've got your first IT job. You've also, you're doing one IT. You broke into IT. Awesome. You passed my IT mentorship, but your IT consultations. You get a great job. You're in the office. Long day in the office. You come back home. Okay. When you come home, your Ukrainian wife greets you, right? Hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. Then you take her hands, you grab her upstairs into the bathroom. You look her in the eye. Hey, babe, can you undress me? And when you undress me, can you step in the bath with me? Can you run the water? And can you bathe me, right, with a sponge and soap from head to toe? And after you finish bathing me, my Ukrainian beautiful wife, can you moisturize me from head to toe after doing that? Brother, will she provide that wifeable quality, brother? Break it down for you.
No, 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 she's not going to do that. No,
Damn,
that's not going to happen. No.
damn.
But especially from what I know about Ukrainian, I've talked with hundreds of them. She'll have the dinner ready, and if you want to bend her over the counter and have her for the appetizer, go right on ahead. So, I mean, I'm just saying, that's something you can definitely do. So she'd be like, do your own shower thing. You can figure that out on your own. But if you need satisfaction now, so do I. So go for it. So I'm just saying, they're really easy that way.
What other wifeable qualities? Do they clean? Do they look after the house? Are they
Clean?
homemakers?
Definite homemakers. Clean. I'll say this: Ukrainian women are very intelligent. So are Russian, but my God, Ukrainian women are intelligent. Never underestimate the intelligence of a Ukrainian woman. She is by far smarter than you think she is. She's also very aware. She'll know the situation very well. So they're very good for conversation. And if you want to travel with them, they're like a perfect companion. She'll go to where you want to go to. She'll have some places where she want to go to as well, but she definitely can add to it. She definitely wants to have kids. I want to say, for the most part, they're very family oriented. So if you don't want to have kids, she's probably not going to date you. But if you want kids, she'll ask it to you straight out in the beginning. If you don't want to have kids, she's like, okay, I understand. You're not for me. But for the most part, if you play your cards right and just say, look, I want children, I want a family, and I think you're gorgeous, and here are some flowers. Big thing with flowers. Remember this, guys. Always give flowers to your Ukrainian girl. They love it. It's not simping for them. They really like it. To them, they actually become very feminine and shy when you give them flowers. Also, same thing for Russia. Give them an odd number of flowers, not even, odd. Because even flowers are for funerals. So odd numbers are for dates. So 15. Don't do 13, like 15, 21, something like that. She'll definitely be giggly if you do that, and she won't take it for granted. She's not the type, for the most part, Ukrainian, I would definitely say this. She's not the type to have a dinner with you and then say goodbye and then go sleep with some other guy. That really does not happen. No. That's just not about that. So she's not there to play you. At worst, you're going to get a foodie date. That's about it. So very elegant, very refined. I'll say that. Elegant and refined. One of the things every time I've had a date with a Ukrainian woman, when she comes into the room lights up and everyone looks at her. I'll say that. Definitely. She's an amazing person that way. And when she loves you hard. And it's going to be an experience for you. You're going to enjoy it.
Brother, so let me ask this right. Obviously, no woman on planet Earth is perfect. Are there some things that you don't like about Ukrainian chicks, brother, that passport bullshit? No. Break it down.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you have a cash flow. Big one. You don't have to be making like huge amounts of money, but you do have to have a job. She will not respect you without a job. Ain't gonna happen. Because she'll turn around and say, if I want an unemployed man, I can get a Ukrainian man. Why do I need you? And she's serious. So make sure you have a job. Other thing too, you need to be very careful to know if she can leave the country versus if she needs to stay there. This is crucial to understand. And a lot of you guys are not going to understand this from the beginning. Do not think that she wants to leave Ukraine, even if she wants to leave Ukraine. Even if she says it, look at her actions and how she's actually conducting herself. A lot of women will say they want to leave Ukraine, but they have no intention of it at all. So if a woman cannot leave Ukraine, you're not going to be able to take her out. That's the way it is. Make sure that she can actually do a long term in the West if you want to do that. Most women do not want to leave. Now, when I say money, I'm not talking like tens of thousands of dollars per month. You just have to at least have a job. So if you're making like, I would say like $5,000 a month and you're working remote, she's good. She's gonna think you're a catch. So like there's a lot of tall women there, but there's also some short women, but there's a lot of tall women there. I'll say that. So I'm 6 feet tall. It definitely helps me out in Ukraine and Russia. A big one in Ukraine. I'm just saying there's a lot of tall women. You kind of look at them like, how do you get that way? So there's a lot of tall, well-endowed women there. I'll say that.
Brother, so five grand times 12 is $60,000 a month. Sorry, or a month. Sorry, a year. That's not bad actually. To date a Ukrainian woman, actually,
that would be 5,000 in hand. That's actually received in your account every month. If you had $5,000 a month in your bank account and you lived in Kiev, she'd be fine with you. Oh yeah, she'd think she got it. She won.
Okay. So would she be working, or would I be paying for bills and she'd be at home, stay at home mom, or okay, but so okay, forget about the marriage situation, but let's say you have a Ukrainian girlfriend, right? She knows you earn 5 grand a month. Will she stop working, or will she continue working, or will she
She'll
continue?
work.
She'll work. Okay.
She'll work.
Pay her own bills.
Pretty much, but
Okay.
I mean, she's going to expect you to pay for a lot. So because she's making under $1,000 a month. So, I mean, she's going to expect you to pay for things, like, because it's not like an easy life. So, of course, you're paying for the rent, you're paying for utilities, for going out, you're paying for that. If you Metro Pass, anything like that, you're going to pay for that. It's not that hard to do there. Food, you're going to pay for the food. She's going to pay for her cosmetics, her clothes, any kind of special thing that she needs. She'll take care of that. Any kind of personal care, she'll take care of that. But outside of that, you're going to take care of the rest. That's the way she would go down.
Brother, what about you living separately? How obviously you pay for the dates, but would she expect you to pay for some of her bills if you live separately, or if she's your girlfriend, or how does that work, brother?
She doesn't really have bills, but I mean, it may every once in a while, yeah. But she really doesn't have bills to pay, to be honest. It's not really that a big of a thing there. It's not like here, like you'll never have a question from her like, can you cash out this to me? But let's say this, okay. Let's say you're dating her and she has her own place, right? And you're making $5,000 a month. Well, she's going to make guard you. So you living separately is not going to last that long. If you're having a relationship, she's going to be over at your place all the time. And that's to make sure you're not checking another woman. So, yeah, that she's not going to have you lady bills per se because she's going to be in your place.
Okay. And brother, how would you handle a marriage with a Ukrainian woman, brother? Would you pay all the bills for that, and you expect her to be the homemaker and look after the children? Okay, I see. Makes sense.
Yeah, she's going to take care of the children. So, very traditional based. After she gives birth and she recovers, then she'll want to go back to work. She'll never use her career as a reason to not have children. Almost never. So if she wants kids with you, she's pretty much like, go for it. Yeah. Many times as it takes, go for it. Basically, if you say like you want to have 3 kids with her, she's down with that. You'd be so surprised how many women there are totally into having more kids, because the only reason they're not having more kids is because of the economic situation.
Okay, so Theo, let me ask this, right? So, do you? Okay. So she's with you in the household. You're paying all the bills. She's a homemaker. Is there a point where she's gonna feel like, okay, what if Theo leaves and I have nothing? In the West, right? That's women are always paranoid about being her own wives. Like if the man leaves, I have nothing. That's why they go to court, divorce. Is that a similar situation in Ukraine, brother? Could she take you to court if you leave and get money off you, Theo? get you half your resources?
No. The way it goes down there is that she would divorce you, take the kid, and that's it. So you never see your kids again. But she has a job, so she would work at her job. But this isn't preferable. So let's say this again. You're making $5,000, she's making $1,000. It's $1,000. So she doesn't want to be a single mother on that wage at all. So her going after you is not going to do it, because if she divorces you, she's not getting any assets. So there's not a win. A lot of Ukrainian women, when they divorce, they pack up 2 suitcases and their kids, and then they go someplace else. That's it. That's how they start. Anything else they have, they leave it behind and they start over.
Okay. So, brother, I want to go for another 5-10 minutes before you do like the reactions. Theo, let me ask this right. In terms of Theo, cheating, I've heard that Ukrainian women do cheat. Is cheating is a problem there? Is that false? Is that true? Is cheating a problem amongst the women?
There is some cheating. I would say if she says the reason for her divorce or the reason why she left her relationship was because they separated, they grew apart, she probably cheated. But for the most part, these women don't cheat. Now, if you're a foreigner, if you're a passport bro, and you don't know what you're doing, she might game you. But that's a different situation. Like, that's a pro dater. So pro daters are very ferocious. You need to be careful about them. But a normal girl, nah, man, she's not into that. She doesn't have time for it.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So, Theo, let's wrap to some clips and we'll get some questions and later on wrap up.
Sure.
Theo, thank you, brother, for that incredible breakdown. You are the Ukraine master, as it appears.
Yeah. I'll just say this as a last point, guys. Ukrainian women are really good women for the most part. I just want to say they are very good, but you need to put some work into them. The big thing is you need to respect them. No matter how poor they are, you need to respect. And they will come with their best face, they're educated, and they're going to come knowing something about you. If you underestimate her, she's probably going to get rid of you. She's going to call you a womanizer or something like that, and that's it. She's gone. They have difficult lives. It's hard in Ukraine. It's not an easy oasis. So she's going to want a situation that's going to make her life better. Not like not like you have like in the West. No. When we're talking her life better, we're talking like she can consistently have bread. Like she can have borscht with kefir, which is cream, like sour cream, and she can have 3 meals a day. That's what she's talking about, right? So she's looking for somebody to love her and make her life better. That's it. So if you can't do that, she's gonna be like, why are you there? She's gonna leave. So just always remember that. Be honest and do not be a womanizer, and you'll be just fine.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Theo. Do I have a super chat here? Shout out to Mr. Duck Dissident for the $5 super chat for the support. Thank you, Duck. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. So let's react to some interesting clips, brother. You're gonna love this one, Theo. Okay, and here you go, Theo. It's your favorite woman.
Feminism, they don't like it, and Russian women don't need feminism, they don't like it, and feminist movement will never spread in Russia, and let me explain you why. So the basics of feminism is women going against men, but in Russia we already have a shortage of men. Believe me or not, my generation is still recovering after World War II, when all the men left and all the women were left behind with the hard work, working in the factories, raising kids, standing in line for hours for basic essentials like food, while women in America were basically locked up at the house as housewives. So now imagine that, all the kids, especially boys, that was raised by single mothers, what kind of examples they had in front of them? That the mother have to work, after that come home and take care of kids, husbands. That's why in Russia we have such a problem with the aggressive and demanding men that want women not only go to work, but come home after work and take care of kids and man itself. And now you have the main idea of feminism that women have to work even more. But Russian women want nothing more than a caring husband, providing for the family, helping with chores, and raising their kids, which is rarity for Russia. Plus, we still have a shortage of men. For every man, there are 3 to 5 women. And because of our political situation right now, we are still losing men. So that's why instead of women against men movement, we have women coming together to support and save the men that we have. Today, mothers of the soldiers, sisters, wives of the soldiers are main women, and they are protected by the government. In 2018, some activists and bloggers, more of my generation, started pushing this movement into mass. But as you can guess, they got shut down pretty quickly by the government. And now, not even women needed in our country.
You go there, Theo. Break it down for us.
She's 100% correct. And these women definitely look at the men as being a very valuable resource. And they do not want the men to disappear. The way that like a typical American or English man, or a Western man, the way he treats his wife is like an ideal Disneyland for most Slavic women. And they will be more than happy to be with that. So you actually like, you help her around the house. You don't beat her. You help with the kids. You love being with the kids, and you're not an alcoholic. She just won. Especially if you're loyal, it's a home run for her. I cannot emphasize this enough. So her eyes are open on you, but if you're even halfway decent, good. You will never have these women say like you need to have a Lamborghini or you need to have an Audi or a BMW. Nope, ain't gonna happen. She's just like, you have a job, that's it. She'll never ask you about your vehicle or like where you live or the quality. She wants you to have your own apartment. That's about it. As long as that's there, you got those basics in and you're helping her and being loving towards her, she won. So like a lot of other women are not going to have that ever in their lives.
Amazing. We need this war to wrap up, man, because it looks like a lot of these Ukrainian women, Russian women, they're waiting for brothers. They're waiting for passport bros come in and sweep them off, right? I'm hearing that the ratio of women to men is a huge imbalance. There's more women than men in Russia, brother. So, I mean, that's where passport bros come in and wife up these chicks. That's why, hopefully, we can get 1 million black men and passport bros over to Russia to wife them up for you. You know, he gonna wife him up, bro.
Well, I'll say this. Before the invasion of Lugansk and Donetsk and Crimea in 2014, there was an imbalance of, there was at least 9 million extra women in Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine than the men. So right there, just by itself, they don't have the numbers. If you talk women, like at the earlier ages, the ratio is 1-to-1. But definitely by the time the woman is 40, the ratio in many areas is 2 women to every man. And you go into other areas, it's worse. It is really like 3 and 4 women to every man. So she's not going to have a man at all unless she gets a foreigner. So you have to treat them well. I mean, if you do, like, they're not going to accept bad treatment. But as long as you're nice to them, respectful, you can get some of the hottest women you have ever seen in your entire life, and she will be thankful to be with you.
Amazing. Incredible, man. Passport bros, here's the opportunity. Russia's calling. Let's answer that call as passport bros, and let's get these Russian chicks that are waiting for us, man. That's crazy, man. And shout out to Russian women. Sorry, brother. Shout out to Russian women for pushing back against feminism. That's why I want to hear. I want to hear more foreign women condemning, right, and pushing back against the evil, right, and the disgusting movement known as feminism. We don't need it in any shape or form in 21st century. It has gone too far. It has infiltrated dating, employment. It's infiltrated modern culture, the media. I don't want to see it. I'm seeing chicks that are 5'5" beating up dudes that are 6'2" movies. That's impossible in real life, but in movies they lie to you because of feminism. Shout out to these Russian women for pushing back, continue pushing back, and may they win the culture wars. Break it down for us, Theo.
Well, they have their experience with Soviet feminism. There's feminism there, believe it. Their experience with feminism resulted in them not having husbands. And this happened well early in the last century. So they were looking at Western feminists as being nuts because Western women had what Russian women wanted. So now you see what's happening right now. There's a breakdown of family in the West, and now there's going to be millions upon millions of Western women who will not get married. And this has not hit Western women yet. They don't understand it. They're just talking about it every once in a while. That reality, that possibility is the reality in Russia and Ukraine right now. So, of course, they want the men abroad. So the women, like in these countries, they can have jobs like she's saying. Yeah, they had to work. It wasn't an option. They had to work. But you're seeing Western women now, they're increasingly, they have to work, right? Then there were plenty of men for Western women. Before, there were plenty of men for Soviet women. Then the wars happened. Then they had their Stalin and all the other crap going on. And now there's no men. So they really want to keep those men. And now you're looking in the West, you're going towards that reality as well. Not because of war, but because of feminism. It's actually reduced the pool of available men. So if you want to get married, now, like these Slavic women, they have to do something to get married. And that's going to be the next stage for Western women. If they want to get married, they're going to have to work for it. It's not going to be a given. They're going to have to do something for it.
Facts, absolute facts. Awesome. Next clip to react to, Theo. Let me remove this off the screen. Remove the studio. Awesome. So next one, Theo, is a very interesting study that I'm sure you heard about this week, Theo. What's going on here? All right, there it is. Okay, here it is, Theo. Let's break it down.
In a generation, men and women, historically, within a generation, men and women have held similar views or ideologies. With Gen Z, for the first time, we're seeing something very different, which is that men and women within Gen Z have very different views of the world, with women being much more progressive and liberal and men being much more conservative. This seems to be a global phenomenon. These charts are from an article that was in the Financial Times yesterday, and they picked a few countries for this particular graphic, but in the article, they talk about countries pretty much all over the world. On these charts, the x-axis is time, and the y-axis is political ideology, with higher on the axis being more liberal and lower on the axis being more conservative. If we look at South Korea, we see a huge gap that's developed over time among men and women between the ages of 18 and 29. And if you look at that red line, you do see women are becoming more progressive and more liberal over time, but really the biggest change is young men becoming much more conservative, especially in the last 5 to 8 years. South Korean women are so fed up with the discrimination against women in their society that they're refusing to get married and they're refusing to have children. That has led them to have the lowest birth rate in the world in 2022 at 0.78 births per woman. There's even a name for this movement, which is called the 4B movement. The 4Bs stand for no dating, no heterosexual sexual relationships, no heterosexual marriage, and no bearing children. South Korea seems to have the biggest divide among Gen Z, but you see a similar pattern right here with the United States, with women becoming more liberal, men becoming more conservative, and the gap widening. And then you also see the same thing with Germany, where again, women are becoming more liberal, men are becoming more conservative, with the gap widening.
So let me go here first, Mr. Theo. Why is this happening? Why are men becoming more conservative? Well, I'll tell you why. Okay. The culture is toxic. The culture is completely poisoned we have OF, we have high body count woman. We have a society in the West where it don't care about men. It looks down on men. It blames men for everything. It demeans men. Okay, and we've had enough. Men have had enough of the constant blaming of the average dude. Okay, and the average guy, right, is struggling with dating. This is why someone like Andrew Tate came in the picture, and he just changed the cultural dynamic very quickly, because many men, Theo, could understand what Andrew Tate was saying. If you ain't on that 1% scale, the top 20% of men, right? If you're not there, you ain't getting any woman. So a bunch of guys can't get women in the West. They're angry. They're thinking, I've got my degree, I work hard, I'm an average dude. But the other day, a woman tells him, right, I don't date 9 to 5 dudes, right? If you work a 9 to 5 job, I don't date you. However, most men work a 9 to 5 job. And that's what we're seeing here, Theo. Who's gassed women up, right, to be saying those kind of statements? Feminism. Feminism, Theo, is a leftist ideology, okay? A far left ideology that has destroyed dating in the West, the culture dynamic, marriages specifically. There's no point being a liberal man. If you're a liberal man, I feel sorry for you. Liberalism is not for men, right? You got to be conservative to get through the toxic West at the moment. What's your thoughts on this opinion, Theo?
I definitely agree with you on these ones. I agree on these points. I've become more conservative. Actually, it wasn't that hard to become more conservative. I just had to maintain my political view and not go with the craziness on the left, because they just kept on going. So yeah, I definitely became more conservative. It's nuts. I don't think these women understand to where they're going, and they need to evaluate their future. And if they think they're going to do it all on their own, they're nuts. So if they're, I would say to a lot of these women, you'll see what's going to happen, and this is not going to end well for you. So for the guys who are conservative and waking up, how many of them are becoming passport bros? So you definitely see Korean men in other countries trying to get married. German men also leave and go to other countries. How many German men did I see in Brazil? Quite a number, right? Yeah. So they're going out. Like us as black men going abroad, this is a new thing. Europeans been doing it forever. The number one in Japan, the number one interracial marriage is Japanese men with Asian women from Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos areas. They're bringing them over. When I was there, it was like between 10 and 15,000 a year. But right now, it has to be at least 20,000. So also Philippines. So those men are going out and doing something about it. So I would say you're seeing a shift. Women need to think where they're going, what their options are, what they really think the end state's going to be. Because if they don't figure it out, after 40, life gets really bleak without a family. Just saying.
Facts. And I think women have been duped by the liberal brainwashing machine. And we know the liberal brainwashing machine doesn't care about anyone. All it cares about, is about profits. I need you in the cinema to watch Wonder Girl beat up a bunch of 6'5" dudes, even though, Wonder Woman beat up a bunch of 6'5" dudes, even though she's 5'5". So we need to keep gassing up these women, taking money off them. Barbie as well, right? You can do anything, whatever. It's a girl's world. All that nonsense, right? When they're old enough to realize that they've been duped, it's too late. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. Too late, bro. What's your thoughts, Theo?
Well, I think particularly in the case of Korean women, their options are very limited. So I would say a lot of women don't understand what the 35-year-old wall is. And they think they can have children 40, 45, 50. And I'm like, biology doesn't support that. And they have the IVF idea and everything like that. I'm like, that it's not really a possibility. So it's not a viable possibility. So I would say, I wish these Western women luck. Let's see what they're doing. But I'm a Gen Xer. At least 50% of the women with whom I grew up are single and childless. And this number is only going to increase as time goes on. So, is this what you want, ladies?
Damn. Theo spoken. Awesome. So next clip to react to. So this one here. Present video file. Here's another one from us, Theo, to to assess.
Turn off in guys.
Probably when they don't work out, go to the
really?
gym and stuff. Yeah.
White men.
So what do you guys prefer in a guy?
Really rich,
Really black.
at least 6'5".
6'5"?
Yeah.
She's 6'5". He's got to be taller, you know?
You know? Yeah, just lots of money, really. Yeah.
Like a yacht and stuff?
Yeah. That kind of thing. Can buy me fancy things, take me on trips, pay my rent.
Between men or women, who has a harder life?
Absolutely women.
Why?
We bleed for a week a month. We are
We're sexualized everywhere we go.
Get like catcalled?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The parking lot tenant tried to steal me before.
Not me.
Anyone tried to steal you today?
We can.
We can.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
I got like 20 girlfriends back at the crib.
Oh, shit.
What's
Yeah.
22 then?
I'm okay.
See what I mean? We have a harder life.
Wow. You go first, Theo. Break it down.
As a delegate of the Black delegation, I would like to state that all Black men from now on are officially identified as white in front of these women. This is for their own protection. So, whatever she was saying in terms of people doing this or that to her, okay. As for, Black men, I hope you were able to run away and escape. She wants a Black man to basically simp for her. We'll puke for you. How's that, honey? Okay. That's about it. I'm just saying. Oh my goodness.
Number one, Theo, right? She mentioned that she wants a guy in the gym, but looking at her size, she's not in the gym and she wants a gym guy. That does not correlate. How do you expect, right? How do you want a gym guy to date you when you look like that? When you look like that, it makes no sense, bro. Again, the delusion, the entitlement always comes through and shows in these Western women. Number two, look how proud, right? The one on the left says she wants a Black guy. To me, right, I find that embarrassing, right? Any Black guy that feels that this is a badge of honor, that Becky wants him, you are a disgrace. I'll keep it a stack. I will keep it a stack, bruv. No Black guy should be going after this. If I see a Black guy with a woman like this, I'm calling the cops. And I'm telling them the reason why I'm calling y'all is because, okay, I've seen a Black guy dating a very ugly woman. Please come and arrest them both and get them off the streets. I'll keep it a stack. Right? I'm being that harsh. It is a absolute embarrassment that these women have the audacity and the confidence to say they want a Black guy looking like that. That just shows that guys in the West, brothers in the West, are dating women like that. And we got to stop that. We need to stop dating these kind of chicks. No matter her race, if she looks like that, you keep away. Right? And particularly when it's a Becky. When it's a Becky, it's even more embarrassing, man. Just date a fat Black girl in their own race, in your own race, man. Just to keep it, from being more embarrassing. It's always these women that look like this that want a brother. That's got to stop in 2024. Brothers got to stop going after these chicks. or taking their advances. I'm sick of it, bruv. Sick of it. Nah,
Oh,
go on,
yeah.
Theo.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sick. That's all. But the sad fact is, going along with what you're saying, there will be a black man who will think he's lucky to wipe these up. And that's why we need the Passport Bro Salvation Crew to go in there and liberate such a guy. Take him to Brazil or Colombia and show him what a woman is. And then I'll just say to our white friends, thank you for the protection that you gave us for a while from these two. You can now have your land whales back. We're gone. Okay? We're out of your way.
Embarrassing, bruv. I better not see any brother. If I'm abroad, right, I better not see a brother with a woman that looks like this. If I see you with one, it's gonna be smoke on sight because you're making us look bad in that foreign country, whether it's Japan, whether it's flipping Panama. Don't be with a woman like this. Don't embarrass us, please. We have enough embarrassment already in this world. Don't embarrass us any further, please. Please. It's too much.
Do not embarrass us. This is something horrible. I mean, honestly, this is, again, when I see black men with this, I'm like, why, bro? Why? I mean, was picking cotton that bad? There's other things I would rather do. Just get a passport and leave. I never dealt with something like this. No way.
Facts. Absolute facts. Get your passport and avoid these kind of women. Awesome. So next clip to react to from studio. Shout out to Mr. Cygnus. That's a good name, bro. Cygnus. I like that name. For the $2 super chat. Sounds like some, Navy SEAL type of, secret department in the US government. Cygnus. Come on, Chief. Get them off my screen, my eyes.
I know. My eyes were hurting. I was like, no, why? I don't want to remember this. Stop, please. No, it's like an assault against my poor brain. Oh, I don't want to remember. I don't want to remember it. Oh, okay. Japanese women, Ukrainian, Japanese women. Oh, please. Oh. Okay.
So next one, shout out to Mr. Babatunde, lawyer in the building. What's up, bro? For the $2.99 Australian dollar super chat. What's up, bro? How is Ethiopia so far, brother? Reach out to me on IG, brother. Want to know how you're doing in Ethiopia. Shout out to IPN Theo. I'm back in the building. Welcome back, bro. Happy New Year. I want to hear about all your time in Ethiopia, bro. Let me know, brother. Send me a DM on IG and Happy New Year, brother. Once again, thank you, brother. Much appreciated. So let's react to the next clip, Theo. Present video file. So here's one that is very interesting. Okay, this one here.
Is on a 14-hour flight home right now, so I decided to surprise him by making some cinnamon rolls. He's been asking me to make him some for so long, so I thought now is the perfect time. I added all of my ingredients for my dough to my KitchenAid. I made sure to incorporate everything one at a time and slowly as well, just so everything can be kneaded in properly. Once my dough was smooth, I pulled it off the hook and formed it into a ball and let that rise for about 2 hours until it doubled in size. I obviously had to try the dough, which was delicious. Then I punched it down to release all the air and rolled it into what should have been a rectangle. Once that was rolled out, I made my cinnamon and sugar mixture and brushed my dough with a lot of melted butter, sprinkled my sugar on top, rolled all of that up, and then cut it into equal pieces. I put those pieces into my baking trays to rise for another 30 to 45 minutes until they're about double in size. After 45 minutes, I checked on them and they were perfect, so I popped them in the oven, and while they were baking, I made my cream cheese frosting. And the timing couldn't have been more perfect because Lucky was walking through the door right as I was pulling these out. They were perfectly soft and gooey, and he ended up having half of that sheet pan, so I think my surprise was a success.
Wow, let me go first here, right? The reason why I show this video is because see how black women, right, submit and cooperate with white men in the States. But we as black men have problems getting our own woman to cook us a meal like that and submit to us. I'll keep it a stack, right? And this is what was going on in the social media spaces for a couple of weeks. Why is it that, black women can do all these things, right, for Brad, Brady, but can't do it for, the brothers? It's a constant theme, and this is a Western chick, Theo, doing this. And I've seen other clips of hers. She's completely submitted to Brad, her husband, whatever. The average black chick, brother, in America, in the UK, ain't doing this. How, Theo? It ain't fair, bro. You know, it just ain't fair, bruv. Break it down for us, Theo.
I just sent you photos on Facebook. Okay.
Okay.
So, this is going to be fun. This is my point. Brothers, learn how to cook. I can cook. I have a KitchenAid myself. I can cook rather easily. So, learn how to cook. And then when you're in another country, cook for a woman abroad and watch her freak. So, I showed the woman I just showed you. Mm-hmm. Guess what? She's rather hot, right? I showed her examples of my cooking, and she freaked out. She could not believe I was able to cook as well as I am. I'm just saying, whatever the Western woman is doing, I don't care. I can do that and do it for a woman abroad. And my result will get me a woman beyond my expectation in my entire life. I'm just being honest. Let them do it. I don't care.
So you tell us to let them go completely? No, not.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's like, okay, I'm making cinnamon rolls for this guy, and look what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't care, because I showed you the photos, right, of that woman. I make cinnamon rolls. In fact, I would make pain au raisin or vide chocolate bread, Viennese chocolate bread for a Ukrainian woman instead. I'm gonna get that. So she's good. I'm fine. I got mine. She got hers. We good. I don't mind.
Wow. It's just interesting seeing this video, bro. Like, she's completely submitted, bro. Feminine, cooking, and we can't get that, bro. It's very hard, brother. We to get this kind of submission, brother. We gotta be, athletes, rappers. And even with athletes and rappers, there's still problems there, as you see in the media space. But Brad can be average Joe, truck driver, working at Walmart, get a chick like this, doing this for him. I'm tired of it, bro. That's why I got my passport, bro. That's why I'm out of here, because I just can't deal with this.
I just don't care. I just don't. I don't care. I really don't. One of the things I told people I came back to America is that I've never had an ABW ever make me a plate in my entire life. I have no idea what that is. But I know Japanese, Korean, Thai making me a Filipino making me a plate. I know what that is. I'd rather eat that food. I'm good. When I was in Japan, of course, I had a KitchenAid, right? I had my KitchenAid in Japan. I would make casseroles, cake, bread, things like that. Women would swoon over that. So why do I care? If I can get a Japanese 8 to go moo moo gaga over my cooking, I don't care that she exists. So I'm good.
Can I ask this then, Theo, right? So if you cook, right, for a lady, right, and she likes it, she likes you, you get with her together, we should expect you, brother, to be cooking for her, frequently.
Yes, but I mean it's kind of a good thing, because if she expects you to cook for her, then she's thinking about marriage with you. So she's kind of serious.
But she gotta be cooking the most, bro. Especially if I'm bringing the household and paying for the bills, right?
Well, she's cooking also, but it kind of depends on who can cook the best. So I cook really well. Just so you know, like I'm really good at that. So I actually was kind of happy that I didn't have to argue with a lot of cooking decisions because my cuisine was better than hers. But it's, you know, she cooked things that she was good at, and I cooked things that I was good at. We ate well. What can I say?
Okay, thank you, Theo. Much appreciated, bro. Let me read the super chats. Removed from studio. Shout out to Mr. Yu-Gi-Oh Master. It's time to do. Shout out to Yugi Moto, Seto Kaiba. Remember that theme song, Theo, from Yu-Gi-Oh? Classic. Team Asia all the way. Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Philippines, China. Okay, interesting there, brother. Appreciate you, Mr. Yu-Gi-Oh Master, for the support. Shout out to Mr. Cygnus with the best username of 2024 so far from the American Navy SEALs and the US government for the $5 super chat. Fellow Khan be speaking about BWs and feminism and how BWs have been against black men for years. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's a shame, but we got our passports. We out of this stuff. We gone.
Yeah.
We ain't coming back. So
no, there's no purpose to come back. There's no. So whatever these women are doing, like, I don't care, because you're getting it so much better abroad. I can't emphasize that enough. I remember. So I'm really good at making chocolate covered strawberries, and I can make chocolate covered strawberries with white chocolate and dark chocolate. And I would do a combination of that, and then also sprinkle in some like salted caramel. And I would do it like a lower sugar content. There's a way of doing it. It takes a skill, but you can do it. And then I would do like a cake with some raw cream and with very little sugar in it. And I would, make it artistic, right? And I would give it to a woman, especially in Japan. And it was a done deal. It wasn't that I got the next date. I was dating her for a full month. It was easy. These women freak over it. Speak the language. You got the culinary skills. It's done. And she's going to be one of the sexiest things you've ever seen. So I'm going to say, guys, learn to cook and use it as one of your weapons. Whatever Western women do, you shouldn't care. Because you'd be like, I can get somebody who is vastly superior to you. So much so that I don't even care if you exist or not. So, see how I don't care? I really don't. I can get a dime super one over abroad, especially if I buy KitchenAid. There's there's attachments you can put on the KitchenAid so that you can make fettuccine and pies and like linguine and ravioli, things like that. I have all the attachments, and I've actually made them. It's like when I was in cooking school in France, I learned how to do that. Man, I've had women just pretty much faint over this food I was making for them. Made variations. They were like, "What the heck? This is some good stuff." If you know how to do it, you can do damage to these women abroad. So, just saying.
Awesome, Theo. So, Theo, here's another clip. So, in the UK, you may have heard that they might do some conscription to prepare against the Russian war. So that if Ukraine falls, Russia come after the UK. And of course, let's hear what the UK feminists are saying, brother, about going to war.
Suffragettes, completely get suffragettes, women's rights. Thank you. Revoke my rights. Revoke it and put me back in a kitchen cooking a Vicky sponge. I drafted for war. Are you all right? I don't do well under pressure. I cried during my geography GCSE. I am not the one. And also, wrong generation they've picked. Not me going to war. That's all you'll see. How I do my base for a long day at war. That's all you're going to get. TikTok shop's going to be rolling. Get Rishi Sunak out there. Get him out there. If you want to push this so hard, you go. You go.
One more time because the accent's a bit dodgy.
Completely get suffragettes, women's rights. Thank you. Revoke my rights. Revoke it and put me back in a kitchen cooking a Vicky sponge. I drafted for war. Are you all right? I don't do well under pressure. I cried during my geography GCSE. I am not the one. And also, wrong generation they've picked. Not me going to war. That's all you'll see. How I do my base for a long day at war. That's all you're going to get. TikTok shop's going to be rolling. Get Rishi Sunak out there. Get him out there. If you want to push this so hard, you go. You go.
Let me go here first, Theo, right? There's a saying called, when the block gets too hot, the ants start scattering. Now the block's hot. These feminist chicks that all about equality, I'm equal to man, I am as strong as a man, I can do what a man do. As soon as the government tells them, hey, you're being called up to protect your country. No, back, kitchen, cleaning. I want to cook now. I want to clean. I want to be in the kitchen. No, a woman's job. What? I thought feminism was all about equality, doing what men do, fighting for your country, going to war. It reminds me of a situation where, women complaining about, what goes on in the corporate spaces, blah, 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 not enough women in corporate spaces. Hold on. What about being a plumber? What about being a electrician? What about being a builder? Plenty of jobs that women can do that there, brother, but they won't do it. So, brother, this shows us that feminism, okay, is a pick and choose movement, right? It is a pick and choose movement, and it is a hustle for women to scam the system, bro. Big hustle. When the block gets hot, the ants start scattering, right? The truth reveals itself. One day, what's in the dark will be brought into the light. It's crazy, brothers. Now they don't want to fight for their country, but I thought you were equal to men. What's your thoughts about this, Theo?
I laugh because there are Ukrainian women who have volunteered to serve in their military. And right now there's over 40,000 Ukrainian women fighting and dying to defend their country. And these women reject feminism, and they're feminine, and they want to cook meals, and they want to have families. So why would I, this just, again, what this woman is saying, why would I consider these women ever? No, they're horrible. I would much rather have a Ukrainian woman who served in the military than have a woman like this who suddenly becomes feminine, becomes traditional because it's convenient.
Facts, absolute facts, Theo. And brother, this should show you just how conniving and pick and choose modern Western women are. Why would you ever want to wife one up? You get married to one, okay? She'll do a complete 360 on you, right? Again, feminism is a hustle for women to scam the system. It is a hustle, okay? And don't be a part of that hustle and get your passport, man. Brother, I want them to go to war. No. Suit up, strap your boots up, get your AK-47s, get your helmet, and go fight for our flipping country, bruv. Go and fight for our country. You're equal to us now. Go and fight. Okay? I want to see you fight against men that are 6 foot, 180 pounds. I don't care what happens. You're equal to them. Go and fight.
She'd be out there selling an OnlyFans subscription. I mean, for heaven's sakes, I'm just saying, they just have no integrity. So I agree with you. I mean, they should be doing it, but they're not going to. So they're only in it for themselves. Again, these are not women for marriage or society. So I just stay away.
Absolute facts, absolute facts. So next one we're going to react to, Theo, is one that is very well versed in your domain. Okay. And it's probably a story you've heard in the past couple of weeks, but Japan looking real funny in the light, bro. Looking real funny in the light. Let's go.
2024, and some people are not happy about it. Karolina Shino is a Ukrainian-born model, and she moved to Japan at the age of 5 when her mother remarried a Japanese man. She is now 26 and says she feels Japanese in speech and mind after growing up in Nagoya. As soon as she won the title of Miss Japan, comments flooded in. In defending the decision, the pageant's organizer reportedly said it's time to rethink what Japanese beauty is, and that Japanese beauty exists not in the appearance, not in the blood, but in the heart. That's not flying with some who have said this is whitewashing. Others have sided with Karolina, saying culturally she is Japanese and that she should be able to win. Karolina has said she's long struggled to feel fully accepted in Japan, and that was actually what prompted her to enter the Miss Japan pageant.
You go there first, Theo. What's your thoughts about this?
I love this. I love this. This is one of my favorite things. This is so good. So yeah, she's naturalized. It makes sense. The reason that I like it, of course, she's very beautiful. So I congratulate her first for her victory in Japan. This is good. I have no problem with it.
Oh, she's beautiful.
The thing that, yeah, she's beautiful.
Theo, look at the woman right beside her. Those two ladies, brother. You're telling me that she's more beautiful than those two chicks beside her.
No, it's not more. She's beautiful. That's it. I'll just say that. The one that I think that is funny for me is that many Japanese women think that European women are just by default more beautiful than them. So this happening will only reinforce the idea that Japanese women are inferior to Western women, and it'll make Japanese women easier to date for passport bros. This is why I think, yeah, this is actually kind of a good thing, because those girls, Japanese, of course, I would rather have a Japanese girl. Especially if I'm in Japan, I would go for a Japanese girl instantly. So she'd be like, wow, you could have a Ukrainian girl, but instead or an American girl or an English girl, but instead you chose me, and then she's going to be more willing to date you. Yeah. So that's my viewpoint. I just think it's funny.
I'll be with you. I'm gonna push back here big time, bro. Number one, Theo, she is not beautiful. Okay, in my opinion, this is some woke BS. Okay, this is some whitewashing, woke, low self-esteem BS that the Japanese have pulled for some odd reason, bro. Okay, she busted, bro. Right, she more busted than my back foot, bro. I'll keep it a stack. She ain't beautiful, fam. She's not beautiful. Number two, Theo, right? You mentioned how it'll make it easier for Western men to date Japanese chicks. It makes it easier for white men to date them because she's white, bro. For black men, I don't know about that, Theo. But obviously, but Theo, push back. But third point, right, is that once again, Theo, right, this kind of shows that I don't know where Japan's going with this, but they seem it's just a lot of US influence. This is what the US would pull, bro. Okay, you can be in some all-white town in the US, bro. Okay, and the only black woman wins the contest, and she ends up looking at the other white chicks to keep it a stack. You know, so brother, I don't like this, man, because again, it shows that, brother, imagine what this is showing to Japanese women on average, like, you know, white features are better than the Asian features, low self-esteem, blah, blah, blah. They're beautiful, Japanese women, compared to European women. I think they're more beautiful. But when they have this, like a European winning their own contest, that's going to actually impact their self-esteem in a very bad way, Theo. Break it down for us.
Well, again, it will help black men also, because the Japanese woman's going to think that you could date a white girl. So why is it that you're settling for a Japanese girl? So it doesn't matter. It's because she's going to see a Persian. So a Persian man could date a white girl and not a Japanese girl. It'd be the exact same kind of idea. That's the way they're going to think. Again, Japanese women have historically had a beauty issue regarding inferiority beauty issue regarding white girls. It's why you see so many white models in Japan, also in Korea and China. So Garrett, it's like if a woman is a model, if you meet a white girl and she's from the West, she's probably a model or something like that. If she's from Slavic country, then you know what's going on there. So, yeah, it's the way it is. I don't have a problem with it because it benefits me. I mean, you're going against the entire wave. You just think about anime. How many times do you see an anime character that's actually Japanese?
Hardly any. Naruto.
Hardly any.
Dragon Ball Z, hardly, yeah, true.
They're not so they act Japanese. They have all the Japanese sayings, everything, but they're not Japanese. So I'm looking at them, I'm like, why can't you depict yourselves accurately in anime? You guys are really good at anime. Why don't you do it? And the answers I get, I'm like, stop it. I'm just done with you. You have an inferiority complex. That's fine. That's it. That's all I care about. So if they have it, they have it. I don't care.
Theo, go on, bro.
You're not going to win the war with them. You're not going to win. You're not going to say, this is the way I think it should be. It's not going to work. They're still going to think that they have an inferiority complex. So if you meet like Junko and she's a smoking 9 and you know she's a 9 and she's going around with an inferiority complex because she thinks this woman is more beautiful than her, and you have access to Junko and she says, thank you, IP, for dating me instead of this other woman. I think you can get this other woman instead of me. You got a Japanese 9. Be happy. Go home. Make some kids. Have some, fish. Have some beer, some sushi. Call it a day. You just won.
Okay. Okay. I don't know about this film, man. I disagree. I think this is just Japan messed up here big time. Big time. I don't know what they were playing here. It's gonna make them whitewashed men a lot more, in my opinion. And try and emulate white beauty standards even more. Wear contact lenses. Whenever I see an Asian chick wear blue contact lenses, green contact lenses, I know what she's thinking up here. I keep away. I don't want a whitewash Asian chick. You be Asian, you celebrate your culture, I go for you. I don't want no sort of blonde hair, all that stuff. Be natural. Japan, they take the L here, bro. They take the L big time. I don't know what they were thinking. Take that L, Japan.
They might go British Broadcasting and accept that from you also. I mean, honestly, if that's the way they're thinking and they have an inferiority complex, they'll definitely go out with you. I don't care. I'll take it. I'm kind of like a bad boy who's dating girls with daddy issues. I have no problems. Honestly, I just don't. I'm just like, that's how you think? Cool. All right, fine. I'm good with you. I'm not even going to argue with them. I'm like, okay, that's what you think? You'll meet me at 7 for a date? Cool.
Okay.
I don't care. I'd have the Japanese 9 Junko, whatever she's thinking. I don't care if she wants a ring on her and she wants a hot marriage bed and 3 kids. Let's sign the document. Let's make this happen.
Okay. All right. So now let's react to the last few clips. We've got 2 more actually.
Yeah. I'm totally like what is it? The Prince, Machiavelli. I'm totally Machiavelli issue on this one. I don't care. I just don't. Compared to other crap that I have in my life, I just don't care. So how many Japanese girls have I dated before who had a whitewash issue? Every Filipino I dated had the same issue. So did the Thai girls. I was having a great time. I don't care.
Okay. I wouldn't wipe him up though. Definitely don't want to wipe up a whitewash chick. That's not happening. So let me react to this one, Theo. What's your thoughts here?
No one has seen or heard of the fact that conservative men are struggling in dating in this political climate. Here's a fucking thought. Change your mind. Be open to changing your mind. It's not that deep. I know mommy and daddy will be very upset if you so much as open your mind even slightly, but it's okay. It's okay. So here's a couple of takes on this. Number 1, there's a lot of girls stitching saying if that they see that a man is conservative on a dating app, it's a double right. And I have a 1-up on that. If I see if a man is a double C, I call it a double hit. A Christian conservative, fuck no. Because that doesn't happen overnight. That goes to show me that you come from a long line of Christian nationalists who are on board with Project 2025. That's immediately what I jump to. That tells me it's not just you, it's me, because we would not get along. I would open my mouth and you'd be leaving the dining room table. It's all right. It's all right. We'll just move along. Number two, these men don't even know what they believe. They don't even know what they believe. I saw a quote the other day, can't even remember where I heard it, but it was someone saying that there's a difference between what you are taught and what you believe. And I find that through and through with these conservative men. These conservative men oftentimes have no idea what they even believe in, because I no longer argue with people on either far side of the aisle because they're just too far gone. So what I do is ask why? Why? What policies, what procedures, what evidence suggests that that was a good move have you found? That that's a good reason to do that? And they can never answer me. They can never answer me. Or the answer is solely lied in hating on the other side. So when you ask a conservative man about a policy and he talks about, well, fucking Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden. I'm like, okay, yup. Joe Biden's a war criminal. Like, we get that. Like, he needs to be impeached. He doesn't even know where he is. He just Roombas around. We get it. But what will your side do to fix that? All of it. Always Hunter Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Hillary Clinton. Like, can we just fucking get over that? My God. Oh, and Obama.
Oh, wow. Theo, as a fellow American, Theo, what's your thoughts about this woman that doesn't like Christian conservative men? Break it down.
I just stopped listening to her. I mean, really, her voice is irritating. So just conservative men, use your passport, go abroad, and then she's going to turn around saying that you're dating a pedophile. You're a pedophile dating, the Japanese 9. And then she's going to turn around when she's 35, 40 and say, we're all the good men. That's it. This is the kind of women I was happy with whom to never deal.
Japanese 9 looks. Japanese 9 looks. Just to make it clear, Japanese 9 looks. Before someone weird misconstrues your point, Theo, right? Japanese 9 looks.
Yeah.
But she's 25 years old. Come on, Theo.
I could just be in Japan with this amazing woman, and I would never have to deal with this kind of situation. So I just say, guys, just avoid it. She's going to keep, this kind of woman's going to die alone. Straight out. So why do you even care? Like, she could just yap. She's yap, it's fine. Then you got your Japanese girl, you're Ukrainian, or you're Russian, or Tanzanian, or Colombian, or Brazilian. You don't care about politics anymore. You recognize that the West is sinking beneath the ocean. You just say, okay, cool. You still have football. You got some sports. You got some beer. You're good. That's it.
Facts, man. I think we saw that graph, right? That younger men are becoming more conservative, liberal women are becoming, younger women are becoming more liberal. Why would any man want to deal with this? The voice, the attitude, the aggressiveness, the masculinity. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. And tell me what's wrong with being conservative. What is wrong with being a conservative man? You don't want the whole, garbage that pushed out by the powers that be to be in your family household. You just want a functional family, right? That lives on the God and the Bible or the Quran, Islam, whatever religion you believe in. Why is that a problem? Why is that a problem?
Well, I understand on their side why that's a problem. I get it. I mean, I get their point of view. I wouldn't want this woman to be in my house. That's all. But that's the point, right? I would rather use my passport. So I'm not going to bend, but she isn't going to bend either. That's why, like I said, she's going to die alone because I have options. She doesn't. So there it is. Keep your idea. Keep on working. Keep on supporting the system. Use your tax money. That's fine. And I'll have my gorgeous wife and I'll be happy. I'll be making kids. She's still going to be yapping. She'll get a few cats, box wine. They'll find her one day. The cats will have eaten her. Not bad.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I'm Machiavelli again. That's just totally Machiavellian way of thinking. I don't care. I've seen so many of these kind of like Gen Xers. I've seen them just grow old and not have children. I don't care anymore. I just don't. I'm out. I'm out of the West. I'm just out. Okay.
Facts. Absolute facts, bro. So last clip to react to. Then we'll open up the phone lines for a bit. Remove. And then present. Video file. This one over here is an interesting one.
I don't know if this is normal or if I'm being crazy, but I turned 23 this month, and ever since then, I really feel like my biological clock is ticking. Like, I can hear it ticking out loud. All of a sudden, I feel like I need a baby and a husband and a career by tomorrow because I'm already behind schedule. Is that normal? I know that 23 is not that old, but it's the oldest I've ever been. So if you're trying to get married, let me know.
Too late. It's too late. Actually, she's 23, but
She's 23.
at least she knows Theo. Actually, at least she knows that she can't be messing around and living a hot girl summer lifestyle until she's 33 or 30, and wondering, where did all the time go? That went quickly. At least she knows, brother, that she can't be messing around. She needs to get a man, get some children, get some kids popped in her, etc., etc. What's your thoughts for it? Could this be a turning point for the Western women? They're now starting to realize the error in their ways, or this is just an anomaly in the sand?
It's unlikely for there to be other Western women who think about this on a mass scale. So, good for her. I think she's doing the right thing. It'd be nice if there were more, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So, keep on using your passport. But I mean, good for her. At least she's not out 304ing it up. So, good.
Absolute facts. Absolute facts. Okay. Awesome. So, let's get some callers in. Then we'll see how it goes. We'll go on for another 5-10 minutes. And we shall wrap it up. Move from studio. Okay. Awesome. Copy. All right, brothers. Call in if you have any questions for our guest. That'd be greatly appreciated. And then about Ukraine, obviously, keep it on the Ukraine topic, and then we'll go on from there. Replace pin message. Great thing for you. Ukraine. I might have to, F the war, bruv. I might. It's a war, unfortunately, but I'm going there, bruv. I'm gonna be in Kherson. Look for a dime chick, even though there's a war there. F it, bro. F it, bruv. I don't care, bruv.
I mean, okay. It's a war. I really, okay. Well, you're educated IP, so I mean, you know the risk. If you do that, all right. I won't be in Kherson. I might be in Kiev, but to be honest, the woman I want to be talking to, I'm probably gonna just take her over to Poland and talk to her there. So I doubt that I'm gonna actually go inside the country because it's just too many issues. You can't fly into Kiev right now, so you have to take the train from Poland. So it's 24 hours basically to go from I believe it's Warsaw all the way to Kiev. So it's not something I really want to do.
Okay, so you be in Poland instead. She meets you from Ukraine to Poland. She come to meet you. Yeah, that makes sense, Theo. Yeah, I'm a bit. Yeah, don't do it, Theo. I'm joking about it. Don't go to Ukraine where there's a war. Look, I'm not going there. I'm just playing there. Shout out to you, Master, for the $5 super chat. Quick question for Theo: are they thick Ukrainian women?
Not really. No, they take care of themselves because they look at thick as being fat. So why would they want to be fat? I don't blame them for this. So they're usually really thin. If they're any kind of thickness, it's because they're doing squats. But my question is, how are they getting protein? Like, for real, how are they doing this? Buying protein is kind of hard for them to do. When I was there, like a good bottle of protein was like $100. That's expensive in Ukraine. They're not going to be able to buy that easily. So doing squats there is going to be a hard thing for them to do.
Damn. Awesome. All right, give it 5 more minutes. No callers in. We're gonna wrap it up. And we'll, have a great week ahead, and another great show. Ukraine, before the war, was an awesome place. I heard great stories about it. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. Hopefully, the war ends ASAP, man. War is not a good thing, man. I don't like war. Any sort of war, I'm against. Is that pacifist when you're against war? It's not good, man. It's brutal. It's very brutal. Call of Duty, Black Ops, all that Battlefield. That's not happening in real life, brothers. War is gritty, right? War is not Call of Duty. It's not. You can't respawn. You can't die, come back to life, start shooting people. When you die, you die. So hopefully that ends, man. It's very sad.
Yeah. Also, regarding Japan, Miss Japan, it was like within the last 3 years, another one of their winners was Blasian. Right? So that's very Japanese. So it goes back, but you see, even the Blasian, the Japanese girls are going to think that she's more beautiful than the Japanese girls are. So it's further going to make us look good. It's the same thing. They're not just white. It's Blasian will have the same effect on them. It's how they are.
Do they see Blasian as Japanese or black?
They had that discussion. This woman also, who's Ukrainian, the question is she Ukrainian or Japanese? It's a theological debate. I don't care. I just look at the effect of the woman. Is a Japanese woman going to be more likely to date me? Yes. Is that benefiting me? Yes. Okay. So I like Japan because it's kind of dysfunctional like that from time to time. I'm like, okay, you guys are dysfunctional. Cool. Hey, Junko, are you available? Oh, you are. Okay. As good as yakitori. Okay, this new yakitori over here. Yakitori yasan ikoyo. Okay, daijoubu yo, ikoyo. So I'm like, okay, so now I got a Japanese 9 dating me because of these situations. Cool. I don't care.
Damn. You make me miss that karaage, yakitori. Oh man, I miss it, bro. Yoshinoya.
I really miss it.
Yoshinoya.
Yoshinoya. Oh, Yoshinoya. That was like, oh, it was so good. Yakuta video. Oh, yeah. Oh, with tamago, raw egg put out there and then stirred up. It was so good. That's why, like, again, with Japan, there's a lot of gray there. There's a lot of shades of gray. And the thing you just learn to do in the years while you're there is just not care. It's okay. It's a shade of gray. So what? You just keep on moving. There's so many other things to care about. You just don't care in the end. Just like, I got to go with my life. You know, did I get a seat on the train today? No. I had to stand up the entire time. I had to watch weird posters on the train, read interesting stuff I didn't want to read about. I know content I don't necessarily want to know. I had to work a lot. I got go home. You know, it was a boring day. That's like the normal 9 to 5 in Japan. So that's why I don't care. It's just in the end, just if Junko wants to date me and be with me, cool. Let's do it, Junko.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, Theo, looks like there'll be no callers today, Theo. So, you want to see your...
They all scared?
I mean, kawaii desu ka? You scared, brothers? You scared?
They're scared. They're scared. Oh, no, we don't want to come here. Not the Ukrainian girls. Oh, no.
I think blondes are too feisty for them, Theo.
I don't know why. Blondes and black men go really well together. I'm just saying. They're really beautiful together. I think it's a good look. I also think Japanese and black are a good look as well. I think it's really cute. So I have no problems with that one. So, okay, again, so if we're going to end it, then I want to say this, guys. It's been a fun stream. Had a good time. There's a lot of good options that you have there in Ukraine. Some of you guys might want to be dating Ukrainian women in the diaspora. So there's a lot of, I believe the amount of refugees is around 5 million right now, something like that. It was 10 million, now it's around 5 million, because some of them have returned back. So in some of those areas, you might, outside of Europe, even in America, you might find some decent Ukrainian women. I'm here in Austin right now. There are refugees here, and they're interesting. None of them has turned me on, but I'm just saying that there are refugees here. So think about it. There are options for you. If you want to date a Ukrainian woman, if she loves you, you could have the ride of your life. I'm just saying, they're great. They're fun. Again, it's a lot of good stuff. Remember to, again, regarding the war, regarding politics, keep your ears open and depend more on local sources. I depend a lot, particularly regarding the war. I listen to Ukrainian men, particularly men who are associated with the army. I listen to what they're saying in Ukrainian and in English. Gives me a pretty good idea what's going on, because they're the ones suffering. So go there, just be very understanding of their history. Understand Stalin in Ukraine, what happened. KGB in Ukraine, the history of it. You'll get a better idea of what the Ukrainian and Russian relationship is. Anyway, guys, good stream. Again, thank you for having me here, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay.
Thank you, Theo. Have a great week ahead, brother. Thank you, bro.
Okay. See you.
Peace out, bro. Richard Copeland, if you can please send me a DM on IG, brother. We should have touched base last year. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Thank you, bro. Awesome. Theo is right. Let me just put this comment. Theo is right about people disappear. I have heard in Soviet times you were driving somewhere, someone asking to lift, push the gas pedal, high chance nearby, your grave ready. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. If you're driving and someone else asking for a lift, if you are driving, push the gas pedal. If you're driving somewhere and someone asking to lift, push the gas pedal high. That's mad, man. That's crazy. Be careful out there in Ukraine, brothers, man. Be careful, man. No, I'm a huge proponent of safety first. Safety is very important to me. I'm gonna skip Ukraine in the near future. Seeing this, reading what Theo said, I don't know, man. I'm gonna skip it because I just don't take no risk, man. I'd rather go to the same country 10 times because it's safe than one country, because I've not been to ever. Be very careful, man. Be very careful. That's wild, man. Damn. Okay. All right, brothers. Have a great week ahead. Python course coming very soon. Hope to see you brothers join it. And yeah, check out the Patreon for more intel on Ukrainian chicks. Take it easy, brothers. Yeah, the block is hot in Ukraine, man. The block is hot. Be careful out there, man. It's mad. Look after yourselves. I'll see you brothers on the next video. Peace out. Ain't gonna go, but the war, I hate to say it, but the war going on, I ain't gonna go to Ukraine. Even Ukraine's trying to leave the country. Yes, indeed, man. Very unfortunate, man. Could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. Man, I've got a cold again. What's going on with IP? How do I have a cold again? Flipping heck. I've got a cold again. Okay, all right, brothers, look after yourselves. And yeah, see you brothers on the next video. Thank you.